All right, so today I'm joined by Trevin, 5 Star Jones. What's going on, bro? How are you?
What's up, guys? What's up, my guy? Good, bro.
Not much,
Good.
man. So I'm really excited to have you on. Just to get this started off, you're back there in Guam right now, training and all that?
Yes, yes, sir. Back with my boys. Getting that training in. Got a couple guys fighting this coming Friday in a show that's coming back to Guam. So I'm excited for that.
Okay, for sure. And I want to say congratulations on your win over Wilson Hayes recently. We'll get into that later in
Thank
the
you.
interview. But how
Yes,
you
sir.
feeling coming off of that? Just initial question for you.
Man, I feel really good right now, man. I'm honestly, I want one more before the year ends. I don't know if people been following my social media, but I for sure want one more before the year ends. I feel great. I'm back in good spirits. I feel the right energy to be out there fighting again. So I'm excited. Um, I know how talented I am, and I know like I lost four in a row, man. That don't sit right with me, and I know no matter if it was versus good guys or not, like I know how good I am, and something was missing, and I kind of think I found out what it was that was missing or what was going on with me. It's still science. We got to get a couple more wins in before we know it's the truth. But as of right now, I feel great because I figured some things out.
Okay, awesome. Well, that's good to hear. And I think I know kind of some of the things you got figured out, but we'll leave that as a
hmm
teaser for everyone to kind of wait for
Yeah.
on that. To
Yes,
start
sir.
off in the
Yes, sir.
beginning, you're from New Orleans, right?
Yes, sir. New Orleans. That's me.
Okay, for sure. And how was it like for you growing up there? And what kind of kid were you like?
Man, New Orleans was rough. My mom passed away. I ended up moving with my dad. I remember. I went to school there. I used to fight all the time in elementary school. Man, I used to fight all the time. I don't know if it was because my mom passed away. Like if I think back in my head right now, I don't know if it's because my mom passed away or that's how my life was. Because maybe my mom was sick or whatever. So we were everywhere. We were never like in a place for a long time. And it's not like no like oh we're moving house to house and it's really that bad. As a kid, you really don't know. You're just doing and you're going with the flow. So if I was to say it was we were moving house to house, we was. But if I was to say it was super bad, it was okay as a kid, but now I can think, yeah, I know that I can see the struggle now that I'm an older person and understand. So, you know, we struggled a little bit in New Orleans, but my family was always like the guy energy like me. They always get things done. So when I said struggle, it's like a lot of people use welfare and use things to get by at times, and that's a normal struggle, honestly, in America nowadays. Everybody family came from it or have to fall back on it to get back on their feet again. So I would say it's normal, man. I'm a normal kid. Was very bad. Lost my mom when I was young. That's gave me fire to get here today. And all the sad stories. Everybody has the sad story, But for sure, something I grew up in a way that makes me like I am today. And yeah, there was definitely some problems growing up, and it was not perfect. It was very hard life. I ended up moving all the way to Guam, and I played sports in middle school and high school, so I didn't fight at all in middle school and high school. I played sports all four quarters, football, rugby, track and field,
Okay.
track, tried a couple wrestling, but wrestling was always in the same quarter as rugby. So believe it or not, I was picking rugby over wrestling. I was playing rugby
Hmm. In Guam or in
in
Louisiana?
Guam, in
Okay, in
Guam,
Guam.
in Guam. So I'm saying like in New Orleans, I fought all the time in elementary school there. When I got to Guam, I think I was sixth grade. I fought here a little bit. I still have that same because people will pick on me. So I got that same kind of Izzy them story, man. When I hear their
Yeah.
story, I'm like, I got that same kind of Izzy them story. The black kid moved to the island. There wasn't much black people there. Here at the time, now there's a lot more, and people like people know us around here now. But back then, it was real island life. When those typhoons and stuff used to hit back then, when I was a lot younger, yeah, it was real island life. Like Guam has came a long way to turn itself to American, like it's real Americanized now. But when I got here
Yeah.
and we moved here, it was throwback, bro. It's like we went to it the 1800s real quick.
Yeah. So
But
you
they
had to
came a
adjust a
long
lot
way
probably.
now. Yeah, so you have to adjust a lot. But like I said, I was getting teased, and I was a black kid. Man, no one knows what it's like to move to a place and then Black History Month pops up. Black History Month pops up, and you're the only black kid in that school, and then
Yeah.
they're showing all the bad things that happen to black people, like pow, pow, pow. They're just, and you're sitting there and you see your classmates and stuff. They're kids, man. They're tripping out. They're tripping out. Like, dude, that happened. They like pretty much like, as a kid, you'll think that happened to me, like that, man. So I went through stuff like that, and then like, there's always the naughty kids that want to pick on you and stuff like that. So I fought a lot when I was young, like young a lot. I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if it was from my mom passing away and that's how it was, but I have definitely had a fire and I used to fight. But when I got older, I played all sports and I was very, I wanted to play those sports. I wanted to not get suspended because you're not gonna be able to play, get on the team. So I did what was right to save myself, and it helped me be an athlete today.
Okay. As far as like with the fighting and stuff, was it like were you a smaller kid? Were people picking on you in a way, or you weren't taking any shit from anyone?
Nah, bro. No one was picking on me, not like that. Like I've been picked on, like older kids. Like I've been picked on. I've been like picked on by like my brothers, not my brother's friends, but like my brother's age group, like around the people. Like they'll pick on me, but that's not. Like I said, this is all like normal stuff. If like people
Mm-hmm.
want to cry about all this kind of stuff, like this is like normal stuff. Like we watch this on TV, like it's regular like that. But I was just a black kid on Guam, so people thought they can throw the jokes. They're gonna
Mm.
throw the jokes on the island life, trust me. And these kids are tough too, you know what I mean? These kids want to fight, they got friends, they got multiple of them. You beat him up, they come back with their uncle, their cousin, so it's
It's like the island life, like you said, right?
yeah, you gotta beat up a couple of them, you're not gonna get through one. So
Yeah.
so it gets
Louisiana was
rough,
like that
but
too, though, right?
oh, Louisiana was a different story. Louisiana was like here, you're not gonna get shot, stabbed, killed at the time. Like you're
Mm.
just island kid fighting island kid. In New Orleans,
Yeah.
it's much more scary. Like you can't be playing that much in New Orleans. Like New
Mm.
Orleans, if you fight, they better not know where you stay. And I go to New Orleans right now. New Orleans is scary for me right now at this age.
I wouldn't even
Like
go,
my
bro.
like my grandma and them still stay in the middle of the hood, bro. And it's like still like where we grew up at. I'm still in those areas, and like I walk to the store, bro, and like I walk to the store, and my uncle, he's from there, so my uncle knows all the guys chilling outside the store. There's a lot. I don't know, man. Older guys in New Orleans still get up, go chill at the store. Like people will say they're gangsters. I don't know what you want to call it nowadays, but that still goes on in New Orleans, bro. Like guys outside the store, when you go into the store, you gotta squeeze through them, bang, bang.
Right.
And like they say, you just be cool and say what's up. You say what's up, and then my uncle's like, "Oh, this is my nephew. He's a fighter, guys." Like he knows all them, and then they start like the mood change. They're like all friendly, like I won't fight you. I have to shoot you. And
Mm.
they start like, it's still like that in New Orleans, bro. New Orleans is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
I gotta go to New Orleans soon. I'll be in New Orleans soon, bro. Like a month from now. I gotta see my grandma, man. I love my grandma. I do anything for my grandma. I cannot not see her too long. She's getting old, so I try and make sure every time I get time to see her, I can see her. So I'm gonna try and come out early. Hopefully, I fight in December. We'll see. I really want to. I really hope I can get someone out in December so I can get out early. Maybe next month, see my grandma, then fade straight into camp. So, yeah, man, I love my grandma. So, but New Orleans is crazy, grandma. Why
Yeah.
my whole
Why she's
family's back
staying
in New
there?
Orleans. My whole family's back there. She was in Atlanta for a while after the hurricane, and I
Mm.
used to visit Atlanta, but she decided to go back to New Orleans with my uncle and all of them. So she got more family there. But yeah, New Orleans is it's yikes over there, guys. Don't play
Yeah.
with New Orleans streets.
It's
I'm
real over there.
telling
You got
you,
to grow up
it,
fast, right?
dude. The New Orleans streets is ooh, way. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. So my grandma always tells me like, "See, I saved you. Like, I took you to Guam. Like, you guys were mad about Guam for a while, but my grandma always runs that to me. Like, see, I saved you. I took you to Guam. Yeah, it wasn't like flashy like the states, but it calmed you guys down, because she said we were bad. She said we were
Mm-hmm.
bad. So especially
Okay.
after my mom passed away, we were bad. Like you guys were bad. So at least it slowed you guys down. So she says that's what she meant to do, and that was great. I love her for that.
Was this
I
your
still
mom's
want to.
mom or your dad's
My
mom?
mom's mom. My mom's mom.
Okay.
My mom. Yeah. my
So
mom's
what was
mom.
your dad doing for a job when you started living with him and stuff? Because you said you're raised by a single parent. I was too,
Yeah.
but in a nicer area. So I'm sure
So
it's way
this is what
different for
happened.
you.
So this is what happened. My grandma didn't want to break all my brothers and sisters up.
Mm,
So I guess when my mom passed away, she's like dwelling on it, I guess, and then she didn't want to break all my brothers and sisters up. But I had went to stay with my dad when my mom passed away. So when we're gonna move to Guam, she had to come sit down with me and then ask my dad and everything, and put that pressure, to not
mm-hmm.
break us up. And yeah, I decided to stay with my brothers and sisters. So I was like, gonna stay with your dad, you're gonna stay with your brothers and sisters. Of
Yeah.
course, I'm staying with my brothers and sisters. We're all smart enough to stay with our brothers and sisters. So,
So were you
you
all
know,
living with your dad before that, or were like you the
no.
only one living with
So,
your dad?
so I got my own dad.
Yeah.
My brothers and sisters have their own dad. I have my own dad actually,
Right.
but we grew up together, same mom, same house the whole time. So,
So they went to your grandma's house after your mom passed away.
yes, they were
Yeah.
with my grandma and my auntie. Yep, they were.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, and then me, I was with my dad. Boom, and then when it was time when they decided to move, they were like, Trevin, you want to stay? You want to go? You want to stay with your dad? You want to stay with your brothers and sisters? And I'm like, Guam's Hawaii to me at the time. I don't know nothing. You see Hawaii on TV, you're like,
Yeah.
Hawaii, we're going there.
Yeah.
Let's go there too. So we end up coming to Guam. It wasn't Hawaii, but I got a lot of benefits, learned a lot of different things off Guam. Now I'm like a hybrid black guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a hybrid black guy now. But honestly, when I go to New Orleans, like it's crazy how the body works because like my voice is super Guam, like I know already.
You
Cause we
guys got
crack
like a
too much.
pigeon out there, kind of like Hawaii. You know, like
No,
pigeon.
no, not at all. It's just
Oh,
that
okay.
they do talk like that though. They do like skip a lot of words. It's just normal. They speak English and everything over here, but like the young people, like the slang of joking all day and cracking jokes all day will change your voice like to sound like me now because we tease, we crack jokes, and all the jokey words were turning into regular words like on a daily basis. That's so. So my talking, my English, and everything's all fucked up right now because
Yeah.
we play too much. You know what I mean? So, but
But you were saying about when you go back to New Orleans, you said you switch back or something like that. What were you saying? You go back
um
to how you talk or something?
oh yeah. So when I get to New Orleans, yeah, I can fit right in real smooth, bro. Like
Mm.
I can switch it up real quick, and it's not like I'm trying to hold this persona to switch it up. Like the body just knows who you're around. Like when I'm around my cousins, my uncle, and them, like over here, I can be super islander too. Like if I'm with my boys and we're cracking jokes and we're go somewhere where it's time to be like island style or crack jokes, I can do that all day too. But when I get with my cousin and them all and everything, like I can be pretty black too. So
Yeah. You
I'm
got
like
both
a
of them.
hybrid. Yeah, I'm a hybrid now, bro. I'm
Yeah,
all messed up.
for sure. And by the way, I also lost my father when I was young, so I'm
Hmm.
kind of
Sorry
curious
about
how.
that.
Yeah, and I'm sorry too, bro. You were younger than me. I turned 17, and like a week after that, I
Oh
lost
yeah.
my dad. But how did you lose your mom?
So me, out of my brothers and sisters, I'm the only one. Like it's crazy. This is another crazy story. I'm the only one that don't know. My brothers and sisters know. I'm the only one that
Mm,
don't know. And like I don't know. I have this like I'm a stubborn person, so I have this thing that I told myself a long time ago to move forward. Because what used to happen is my sister used to always like we're all older now, so my sister every time she got into some shit when we're like young adults or whatever, she'll like be crying out like for my mom, like she'll using us as an excuse, like
mm,
oh mom, and like trying to get the sorrow, bro. So I didn't like that. So when I was older than her, obviously, so I was older, so I already had made a promise to myself to like just let it go, don't find out, don't even care. It's not that I forget my mom. I love my mom and everything, but it's just like it's the same thing that happened with my friend. It's gonna help me move forward. The more I was like dwelling on it and thinking about it, I see what she was doing too. Because anytime things didn't go my way, it was easy to turn to that like that crybaby mode because we already felt that pain of our mom passing away. And it's the same thing that happened with my boy Kyle. And like you said, we're gonna get into that later when we
yeah,
talk about what I found out. But yeah,
right.
if I could have just took that experience, like now I'm adding things up. See, you feel me? Like I'm onto something. Like I found that feeling, and I was like, is this what I'm feeling? Is this what I'm feeling? And I saw who's the girl? Who's the girl that just retired? Angela Lee just retired, man, and I read her story.
Yeah.
And she's young. Of course, she can keep going and everything. But when I sat there, man, I was like, she's right, bro. Like she was right on that. Like, man, when something bad happens to you like that, the drive is diminished, bro. It's like it really is. Like you think you have the drive. Like that's the thing about the mind. Everything with the mind takes time. Sometimes you think, oh, you could just get this done, or oh, you could just get that done now. Or you could just forget about this or forget about that. Your body, like, is more smarter than the way you think. Like it has time before it lets things go, or even take things in. You know what I mean? So,
100%.
man, yeah. So some people think like, oh, they could just be over this in a day. Like they don't understand this. That already has a time frame. So
Yeah.
I'm understanding like things have time frames. So you know, at this age, I guess is when you get to sit down with yourself. Like me, I'm very experienced with myself. I was telling my brother the other day, like my brother always had girlfriends and and stuff like that, or his girlfriend, and then I'm like, bro, you never even stayed by yourself more than me. You know what I mean? And you're older than me. Like you either stayed with me, we stayed with the family, or you stay with your girlfriend. Like being by yourself is like I've stayed with my girlfriend and stuff here too, but like I've been by myself completely the whole time after high school, staying by
Hmm.
myself in my own house, and like you get a lot of time with yourself. You get to be on a level like people never been to this level before. I'm telling you, because a lot of
I
people
live by
stay with their
myself, by the
family.
way, so I relate. But continue.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? A lot of people
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
been to this kind of thinking level we go to, you know what I mean? So, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, bro, and then that was happening to me too. Put a lot of pressure on yourself because like what you go through, and you deal with a lot of things on your own, staying by yourself. It's not like all glamorous like people think. Oh, you stay by yourself, you got your own house, or you got all this in your house. It's not all glamorous. Like imagine all your sicknesses you got to go through by yourself. When COVID hit, you're going through all that situation by yourself. You catch COVID, you go through all that by yourself. What you have to.
There. You're good.
Sorry about that. You
No,
go
you're
out
good.
and even if you're young and you go out and party with your friends and you get too drunk, you come home, you're all by yourself. So there's a lot of things that dwells in your mind, staying by yourself, man. It's healthy. It's very healthy. Everyone should experience it. A lot of people never stay by themselves, so we can't expect some people to have that like thought process like we have. You know what I mean? They just
Right.
don't have it because they always got someone next to them that they're talking to. So the situation that they're talking about is like about what the two minds together or the three minds together in the room want to talk about. But when you're by yourself, you talk to yourself, and it's
Yeah.
a that's a different ball game. You know what I mean? That's a different level up.
Yeah. So did you almost like not process your mom's passing when you were young and until you were
No,
older
no,
and by
no. When I
yourself?
when I went to the I won't say it like that. Like I remember going to the funeral and everything. I was the only one crying. I was going crazy. Like,
Hmm.
I'm a very soft-hearted person. And I remember, man, I was 9 years old only. I was young, so um, it's not about not processing it. I always process it. I know what happened. Like, especially now, I'm very in tune with everything. But it's just like for me to get over it and move forward in my life, I felt like some things gotta be not like it's not ignored. It's just some things gotta be like put on the back burner so you can move forward or use it to get stronger instead of getting weaker. I didn't want to
Hmm.
use it to get weaker. Like I've seen my sister and them like use it to like cover up for their mistakes. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, it's probably hard to explain, but I've seen them like
No, I get
something go
it.
bad or things are not going right, and then they want to like bring that up and start crying because they're a little bit younger than me and all that. I learned from them, like, nah, you gotta be strong and you're gonna get through all this. So, put it in the back burner. Like, even when my friend passed away and I kept bringing him up, the more I was bringing him up, the more it was like eating me up. Like I said, we stay by ourselves, so it's really eating you up. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's really eating you up when you stay by yourself. So The more I'll bring him up, the more I'll post about him. You're seeing it, you're bringing him up, you're reflecting it upon yourself, and it was just eating you up, you know. Sometimes you have to just, you know, let them rest too. That's what I call it. I like let them rest now, you know. You're selfish, you know, like you're over here crying, you know, because you want that person back, you know, you want to be with that person right now. That's you, that's me, you know. So you know, you gotta let them rest. You gotta let it be what it is. You didn't forget about them, but you know,
Yeah.
you can't slow yourself down because of it. And but you are gonna be slowed no matter what for the time
Yeah.
frame that it takes, like we talked about. So yeah, I'm you know, we're all getting older. We're all getting smarter. Some
Right.
things you gotta just go through it. Some things you gotta just bite the bullet and then you know come back another day smarter. A lot of things in
Yeah.
life are like that, you know. Um, Me as a mixed martial artist, I'm a first generation mixed martial artist. My dad never did mixed martial arts, no one. So I'm the one sitting here going through all these mistakes, you know. When I have
Yeah.
some kids and some grandkids or my brother's kids, you know, those guys are gonna be real good. Like I'm just, you know, figuring everything out, trial and error, and still pushing through it.
Doing a
So, you
pretty
know,
good
I
job
know,
too.
yeah, you
First
know, and I do a
generation.
lot of,
Yeah.
yeah, and I do a lot of training by myself too, man. A lot of my training by myself. So yeah, especially when COVID hit, man, people didn't understand. Like I was a COVID reject to the UFC. I was a COVID reject. That's what I call it. Like the people that got called last minute because of COVID. I
Yeah.
call us COVID rejects. So yeah, I was a COVID reject, bro, and I still like, you know, I outlasted the guy who I covered in the UFC, who I outlasted the guy I beat on my debut. So, you know, there was some promising things there too. Um, the only thing that I feel that happened, man, is that situation, man. I, you know, I ended up losing my friend on the third fight. You know, three-way cuts, five opponents, lost my friend. That was a lot, man. After that, the body, the mind just couldn't recover. It just took time to recover. I shouldn't have been out there fighting. Like I said, it takes trial and error. You think you could just go out there and fight it off. I said that you can't fight it off. Like it's in you. You're a zombie, bro. Like no matter how much you want to fight, you're a zombie. The fire's not the same. Um, my boy was my best friend. He was my number one training partner. He was yin and yang. We were yin and yang. Like when we train with each other, man. Like extreme. We've been extreme couture. They seen us spar. They seen us go at it. They know how we spar. They know how we get down, and they know that was my boy, and they know it got wild when we went at it. And so that was really like my number one day one training partner I lost. So
Dang. You guys met in Guam and
we
came all
met
the
in
way out to
Guam,
Extreme
yeah.
Couture.
Yeah. So he moved out to Vegas and he was training at Extreme Couture for a couple of years. So when I visit, I will go Drysdale and Extreme Couture back and forth.
Mm.
But yeah, we're sparring all the time. Like when I get in town, pick me up at the airport, he's all excited. Yeah. And
Yeah.
he's full time MMA. Our whole careers, we fought mini cards over here. We fought in Russia together and in Australia together. You know, he was my number one training partner.
What was
Like
his
number
name?
one, bro. Kyle Rages, Kyle Boom Rages,
Okay, Kyle Boom Rages.
Rages, yes.
Okay. Wow, so you guys
He's
actually
the
fought together too. What happened?
so he got bicep surgery in Vegas and they messed up on the surgery and he passed away, bro. It was not even anything crazy. It was
Wow.
it was it was retarded, bro. It was a freak act. It was bro, he was just about to drop me food, bro, in the bubble in the UFC. He was on his way to drop me food. He's like, I just got home from my surgery. I'm gonna drop you food. I'm like, no, don't even drop me food. You just got surgery, you know? And he's like, no, I'm good. It went well. That was my last message from him. And then the next thing you know, the next morning he's in a coma, bro. So that was
So he made
crazy,
it out
bro.
of surgery, but there was like a
Uh-huh.
complication after?
Yep. There was a complication. Yep.
Wow.
That's that's the one all those extreme guys are shouting out. Like it's been 2 years now.
Uh-huh.
So all those extreme couture guys, they're all really close with Kyle too. They're all been shouting him out since it happened. That's the guy, you know, my boy
Oh,
Kyle.
wow.
That was my number one training partner, bro, on Guam all the way through. We
You
started
basically
together.
introduced him to all those guys.
I know,
Or
I
you
the
guys met
extreme
them
couture guys.
together?
No, actually, he moved to Vegas on his own. I
Oh,
already was. So we both stayed on Guam, and I used to travel a lot already, like I do now. So I have been to Extreme Couture already many times, but he actually moved to Vegas and Arizona, and I said, bro, go. I remember when I told him move to Vegas, bro, move to Vegas. So he moved to Vegas. Then he started going back and forth from Drysdale to Extreme Couture, Drysdale
okay.
to Extreme Couture. So, but he had already been there for like 5 years now, bro. 4 years, you know what I mean?
So
Five
he
years
introduced
training at
you.
Extreme. Oh, to Extreme Couture?
Yeah. Kind of?
No,
No.
I already have been there, but
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
he was my boy. Yeah, I would go there for him. You know what I mean? I would
Right.
go there for him, and I know everybody else there. I love Coach Eric. All those guys, they're already always really good to me. But you know, I went there for my boy Booman because he was there and he had good energy. He was a people's person. He was like so funny, bro. Cracks jokes. Everyone over there love him. You know, and he's a monster too. You know, he'll fuck you up. You know what I mean? He'll
Yeah.
go after you, but he's a funny guy. You know, everybody knows my boy Kyle's a funny guy. They all love him. They got like posters on the wall, a little plaque of him, because they know he was like a real one. You know, like he was a training partner to have. Like this guy will be asking like, damn, Ige and those guys for sparring to help them with their camp. Like this guy's like that. Like, hey, I want to help you with your camp. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know. So can you give me 1 second? I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, he's the kind of guy like that that'll be asking for to help people with their camps. You know, he don't care, don't want to get paid, nothing. He just want to be involved. He want to check his level, man. Such a good guy. So yeah, man, we all miss my boy Kyle. Everyone, I know those guys miss him over there too.
Yeah. Rest in peace to Kyle, man. I'm sorry for your
Mm-hmm.
loss. And then, that's what you said you struggled with, right? Towards the end of your UFC career, you kind of mentioned that. Where were you at mentally after you lost your friend like that? Like you said, he was going to bring you food and then you didn't even hear from him. So how did you kind of grieve his
Yeah.
loss?
So yeah, it was like you're acting like a tough guy. Like, that's what I was doing. I was acting like a tough guy. Like I could just push through it. You know, I thought I could just push through it, and then you're wondering what's missing. Then you're wondering what's missing. Then you're losing these close fights. Then you're losing fights. You know you can win, and then like all those guys I fought were really good though. But man, I'm much better than that. I can do more than that, and I'm only able to notice it. Like I said, it took time, 2 years. Like it was something I thought, but the way I feel now, I feel hungry again. Like I want to smash someone like that. I want to like, ooh, it doesn't matter who it is. I can just like, I see the vision of me. Like I just want to, ooh, I'm just excited. I see the enjoyment of that I'm feeling right now and everything. And I was feeling it before my last fight too. I was feeling like this, and I'm like, this is what I was missing. So I just think it took time to wear back off into my normal self because I was in zombie mode. That's what it was, you know. I was just on autopilot, like there was no fire. Like once I lost my boy, and he wanted it as bad as me, and we wanted it together with all my other friends, So when he was out the equation, and that was my number one boy, it was like, wow, dude, like, do I really want this no more? But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I do still want this, but the body's not reacting the same. The body's like, it's just sluggish. Your training's good, everything, because it's training and everything, but the mental is like, it's not there, bro. It's in space, bro. So when I saw Angela Lee said something like this, you can't just fight right away if your mind's not in the right place or anything. She's absolutely right. You cannot. I just couldn't fight. That's what it was. I couldn't fight. I didn't have that. I want to, pound someone, what it takes to be a fighter. I was training. My body looked good. I looked strong. I was in shape or whatever. But if you don't come to fight someone, you can't fight someone, no matter how good you are. Like, if you don't try and submit someone in a fight, you cannot submit that person. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't try and knock him out and you only want to wrestle, then you cannot get a knockout. You have to come to do those things. And I just wasn't, I was just on autopilot, man. And I realized that over time. Like right now, I could think back a year ago, I wasn't thinking like I'll have a fight signed, but I was just training. I wasn't thinking like in between training, sitting at home and things like that. Like, ooh, I can't wait. Ooh, I'm like, I could
Yeah.
tell I'm back my normal self. Like, you throw something, you land it, and in the camp, you're like, ooh, that's what I'm gonna get him with. You know, you're back to the jokes. You're back to the, you know, I know I'm back. You know, I know my energy's back, and it just took time. I just have to let it go. Like I said, I had to let my boy rest. The more I brought it up, the more I thought about it. It was just killing me. And like I said, it's not something other people can see in you. Like, you can't see this in me. Like, oh, that's killing him. You know, only the people that's really around me will know if they was to talk to me like you're talking to me about the situation right now. You're like, oh, shit, he took that seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, we're tough guys. We can hold ourselves up straight, you know, plus my upbringing, plus losing my mom. You know, I try and push through a lot of things I'm not supposed to be trying to push through. My debut was on a day and a half notice, and I end up winning. That, like, gives you confidence to think you can push through all kinds of things you're not supposed to be pushing through.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, a combination of a lot of experiences, you know, messed me up. But like I said, it messed me up for the better because I'm not out of it. Like, I didn't quit. Like, I'm gonna be back there. I just know it. Like, the way I feel right now, you know, we just don't need nothing tragic to happen, knock on wood. And then, you know, I'm back in a good place. You know, I just was in there with the former champ, bro. Like, I was just in there with the former champ on 3 weeks notice, and you know, everyone want to say, oh, you didn't do whatever. Like, I have to be cautious on this guy. This is the former champ of the world. I was watching this guy, you know. I know I can get this guy, but I gotta, you know, I gotta take time to figure him out. Let me figure him out. But I figured him out, you know. He couldn't do much, you know. I figured him out, and I had a lot more, so, you know, he can have that win. But what I gotta say about that is, I can get that guy. We fought again. I get him out of there for sure. So, like,
Wilson? I thought you just beat Wilson. Who are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about Cody.
Oh, Cody.
The former champ.
Yeah. Oh, my bad.
My bad. King.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, everyone's like, oh, I'm like, bro, it could be results. It could be that result all day, but we fight again. I'm putting him away for sure. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they're thinking about the past. Like, oh, you lost in the past. Nah, bro. We're moving to the future now. Like, I was in there with a former champ. Now I'm a different Trev, you know. I was trying to figure it out, I'm trying to watch out, see what got him that belt, you know.
Yeah.
So when I saw, oh, that's what got him the belt, you know, oh, he ain't got much. Now I know. So now I'm just gonna be, you know, that was the former king. Everybody else ain't got that same status, you know, where they're gonna get that type of respect where, you know, I have to cool it and then figure things out. So now I'm a little bit confident. I've been in there with the former champ. I've been in there with a lot of tough guys. All my guys are tough. So I was going through my little drought. So now I'm ready to just, you know, I can feel it. Like I said again, I can feel I want to, you know, catch somebody. So
yeah. What changed for you?
Catch somebody soon.
After you left the UFC, did you have a day even like where you might have woken up feeling different in a sense, or what changed for you? I know you've been training with your boys. Maybe that helped.
So what changed? No, what changed for me? Yeah, getting let go and I'm getting a new contract. Actually, I finished my contract out. You know, I don't know if there's a difference. You don't get a new contract, you know. But yeah, I finished my contract out.
You fought it out.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then I just knew you're not gonna get a new contract off losses, man. I just lost too much, man. I don't know how. Like, man, I train with a lot of good guys in the gym, man. I'm good, especially in the gym. A lot of guys are good in the gym, but I'm really good in the gym.
5-star.
I'm really good in the gym. I'm telling you, like, they're finally gonna say, oh, this guy's good.
Yeah.
This guy's like that. That guy got, you know, he's good. I'm pretty good in the gym. I show up. I train every day. I put in a lot of work. I haven't stopped since I started this sport. So I put in a lot of work, man. People freak out. I'm actually pretty good. But, you know, and to lose those fights, that many, man, it hurts, man. But I know I'm still good. I just got to work my way back up one fight at a time. I was going through a little drought. I couldn't pull triggers. I was in space. Yeah,
and then
man,
what changed?
It sucked for me. Yeah, getting let go, not getting a new contract. It ate me up, bro. Like, that's gonna eat up anyone. But people, that's the ultimate thing you don't want to happen. All those guys in the UFC be pulling out of fights and dodging fights last minute, like I had in the beginning. I'm supposed to still be in the UFC. You want to know why? Because I had some fights booked that I would have beat those guys up. That's why I didn't make it to those fights. The guys that I had booked, you know. I would have, you know, they were scared at the time. I came off the 2 knockouts. People didn't really want to step in there with me. I was getting opponents probably every 3 days, a new opponent. Like, this is driving me crazy too because I don't think I'm that crazy. I just want to fight somebody. I flew all the way from Guam, so they're maybe looking at it like this guy's a crazy guy. But nah, I want to just fight someone. I'm not afraid to challenge somebody that's better than me or supposed to be better than me. That's the whole point of the game. A lot of these guys already watched this guy beat up 5 guys in a row, and they're a pro too, and they're like, I only beat up 1 guy in a row. I don't want to fight him, bro.
You never
Not
protected
steal
your
his
record.
spot. Never steal his spot. You know what I mean? That's what I was about. I grew up playing sports. You always got to steal the starting guy's spot, right?
You have to.
So that's how I look at it. You got to steal the starting guy's spot. A lot of these guys want to just ride out the UFC, pull out 3 weeks out so they get a replacement. Then they get a new opponent that's more favorable to their style. You know, I know the games they play. I never wanted to do that. I couldn't go out like that, man. I go out like I lost. Yeah, I lost, but when I do get my good wins, when I'm back there, every guy that I'm going to beat that's going to be good, it's going to be like earned. Like, you're going to know that that guy was tough. Like, he's good because he already beat up guys, you know? Like, even the guys that I fought now are beating up guys. Like, Javid beat up guys. Cody was the former champion. Ryone's kind of on a downfall, and he beat me up the most. But Ryone's really good. He was on a 5-fight win streak.
He's real good.
When he first got into the UFC. He is good.
Yeah.
Ryone's tough. He's really tough. So all these guys are really, really
Don't
good.
forget
They all
Mario.
guys.
He's fucking climbing the
Mario's-
ranks.
Yeah, so all these guys.
but you beat
even
him.
Tamir,
Yeah.
but even Tamir, he's supposed to be the ultimate fighter winner too. So all these guys are really good that I fought. Like, I fought the good guys that also have the good attitudes to fight me. That's why I respect all those guys. You know, maybe not. Man, I don't really think Cody wanted to fight me. I just think he had to fight me, considering his layoffs, the pullouts, and everything. You know, he did enough just to. And I say that by the way he fought, you know, because if you wanted to fight me, you're not gonna fight like that. That was like I didn't expect that, bro. Everyone want to dog me out. Like, the people that are dogging me out, I don't really care about it. But how are you gonna dog me out on fighting a former champion? You think I expected a former champion to fight in that fashion? I'm sorry. Everyone can say what they want. I didn't. We did not think he was going to use that much footwork and that much, you know, come on, bro. Like, so yeah, he got a slight win, but I know what he's about now. I know what a former champion of the world was about now. It ain't much in there, you know. Plus, that was my first fight in the arena, and that was a big one, the John Jones card. You know, I'm like, woo. Plus, I'm in the Trent, so, you know, it was a big one for me, but I definitely leveled up from that. Like, so I'm not even tripping on it, you know?
Okay.
I just got to go and get a couple wins in a row, and I know I'll be back in a good position. And I'm going to come back. I told him I'm going to come back, and I'm going to fight someone tough, because they're only going to call you on a late call to fight someone that no one wants to fight. So I'm going to have to be in a, you know, decent shape to know that I'm going to fight someone that no one wants to fight. I'm going to beat that guy, and I'm going to be like I never left. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you just got to stay ready. Is that what you're doing right now?
Yeah. Not right now. I don't think it'll happen right now. I'm pushing, like, I'm not in a rush right now. I'm going to level up on beat up another guy's head. And if they need me after that, not saying I deserve or anything, if they need me after that, that's fine. But if I have to get one more around summertime, beat up one more head, that'll be 3. Now I'll be waiting around. The thing about it is, if the more fights I have to do, the more I gotta push. I can't sit down. So if I win like 2-3 fights in a row, I know that I cannot like go into this off-season mode. I cannot, because I cannot. And that's the way I got into the UFC. I was not able to go into off-season mode. So I was kind of burnt out too. Plus COVID had hit, man. My whole gym had shut down. People don't know, like, this whole new team I'm training with now is all new guys and a whole new team. Like, I had nowhere to train doing 2 years of my COVID career.
Hey, that's what I want to ask you,
career.
if you don't mind, about your friend who passed away. It's something I was really curious about, because I feel like, and with Angela too, I think what's happening with their family and with you too, in a way, is like, with MMA, a lot of people might not realize, but you need like a community of people, or at least one friend that does it with you. You know, it's so hard to be like by yourself in the sport, in my opinion.
Yes.
Like, by yourself. That's so. I feel like you might have been missing like a hype man, like somebody where, you know, how you're like, oh, you know, ooh, I'm ready to go. That's when you're sitting at home with your boy after practice, you know, shooting the shit. like that does stuff for your psyche
Bro,
too. So what do you think
bro,
about that?
you're absolutely right,
Yeah.
bro. You're 100% right. You want to know why you're right?
Yeah.
Because I had so many guys fighting doing jiu-jitsu tournaments before COVID hit. And then when COVID hit and I got into the UFC, what was the only sport going on? What was the only event going on? That was the only UFC. So nobody else was training but me, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else was training but me. So you're right. I was doing it all by myself. Only the UFC was throwing shows. I was like the only one with motivation to train because everybody else knew there's nothing coming up for them.
Yeah.
Nothing's coming up. So I'm like trying to find a place to train, readjust. All the gyms are closed. Even when everything was open again, things are still not the same. You lost all your good training partners. They're all somewhere else. They're scared. They're protecting their family. Things are just messed up. So I'm hopping around trying to travel, figure out what's good. And yeah, man, you do need that hype, man.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Even the walkout music, man, that's another important one. You need the walkout music too and the hype, man. Those two is a big trigger in your fighting. Like people don't understand, but that's a big trigger because you're trying to trigger a certain emotion, and you know what song triggers your emotion. So if you want to get to where you want to be, it is important to have your hype people around you.
Yeah.
And then the music too. The music will trigger what you're trying to trigger.
Right. So I think that's what happened with Angela in a sense. Like a lot of people are
Mhm.
like, what happened with the family? But I think they just got to realize that like 1/4 of their puzzle is like missing, you know? So emotionally it
Yes,
has a big deal.
that was her little buddy. That was her like little homie, you know, that's her little sister. You know, they looked alike.
Right.
The sister was talented too, bro. Imagine how much time she put in with her sister, rolled on the mats with her sister, taught her sister. Her sister was like a guarantee gonna be like a 2.0 of her, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the sister was a star too coming up, you know? And then you go ahead and lose someone like that, all that talent, and then it makes you sit back like, wow, like trust me, she's feeling like I was feeling, but the only thing about her, she's much smarter than me because she had people around her that were able to address it. Me, I figured it out myself. I took time. I had to go through, like, keep putting myself out there when I know I'm not feeling the fire, but I still think I can fight. Like, why do you think you can fight when you're not feeling the fire? That was my fault, man.
Yeah.
But her, I think she had enough people around her that when she was probably going to train or whatever, she didn't want to train and do things like that. So everyone around her was able to tell her, like, you don't want it no more. You don't want to fight. Not in a bad way, but like, Angela, I don't think you want to fight no more. Like, and she's like, yeah, I don't. I don't care about this sport no more. And she doesn't care about it because her sister was good and talented in it, and she lost, like you said, the fourth piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Man.
She was part of the fun,
I
you
understand.
know? And now you're missing part of the fun in the sport.
Yeah, that was the prodigy.
And that's probably what happened
that
with
was
you.
the, you know. Yeah. Honestly, like I said, we could say we want people gonna say like, win your next fight. Let me see how you fight your next fight, and I'm with them. Like, let me fight one more time. Let me see if that was really it, because I was feeling it going into the fight, and then I'm still feeling it now. So going into this next fight, I'm gonna see if my energy is up. You know, you're supposed to be excited to fight, bro. Like, whoa! Like I was excited this last one all the way through, weight cut, everything. I was like, when I was fighting those last couple boys, I'm telling you, I was like, just stare. Like, of course, I get my days where I'm like, I feel good, I feel strong or whatever, but that's not what it's about. You need that, like, you need the roar to be coming out, like, every 2 days.
And I'll be honest, dude. When I was seeing you, like, with the Cody, I was hyped, right? I was like, fuck yeah, let's go, Trevin. Like, finally, big opportunity, right? I was loving it for you. But in the back of my mind, I was like, fuck, I'm not seeing, like, the right energy out of him. Like, I'm not seeing it that I want to see, you know?
Yeah, I understand. You're right, you know? And it was just like, I was in space, bro. I didn't know, like, I knew I was fighting Cody No Love, but, man, like me right now, my mind is clear enough. It's clear. My mind was foggy. My mind was clear enough. My mind is clear enough now to trigger, like, you're fighting No Love, bro. You gotta get him.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta get him, Trev. This, like, at that time, I couldn't do that. I'm telling you, I was in space, bro. Like, I'm telling you, all those fights, I was in space. And so I fought those guys in space, bro. I'm telling you, those guys, man, I fought those guys in space. Those guys are lucky.
Yeah.
Those guys are lucky. And I did pretty good in those fights, too, man. So I'm not even tripping because I know if I got that, my conscience is working like it's working right now. Like I can fire back at least. I can fire back. They might do whatever they do good, but I'll be firing back. The type of fighter I am, I'll fire back. Like in there, I couldn't fire back. I was in space, bro. I couldn't think. My mind was just foggy. It was cloggy, man. Because, like I said, it was all because of there was no fire.
Yeah.
There was no, there was just no fire. You can't burn somebody if there's no fire. I couldn't burn them. I had no fire. I just was out there, boom, trying to fight back. If I caught them with something, I caught them with something. But you gotta go get them with something. You gotta put it on them. You know what I mean? So there was no, urgency. It was taking too long for me to figure it out. Expecting too much. A lot of things were going on that I normally can get over right away. Like right away, I'll do something to let me know if this guy's ready or strong enough. Like you can see the difference on when I fought Tamir and Mario. You can see the difference from there, dude. You can see the movement difference. You can see the bounce. You can see me dodging in and out versus the sluggishness and everything else that came after that, man. And just the mind was just spaced out, bro. Like I just couldn't believe something like that can happen like that. That was wild, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just wild. A bicep surgery, and then we felt more bad, bro, because we're like telling him to get the surgery too. Like go get the surgery because you could come back faster, like we could be training ASAP because the last camp he couldn't train. He was just coaching. So we're like, go get the surgery so we can come back faster. Then he gets the surgery while I'm in the bubble. And then this happened. So imagine how I feel, bro. I don't feel good at all. I'm like, damn, bro, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I have to be at home going through that. Like, damn, guys, we're telling him to get the surgery too. Get it done ASAP. It sucks, bro.
Yeah, that's why you gotta be careful, man.
really
Even like
does.
a shoulder surgery, like if it's on the side of your heart or some shit, I would fucking like definitely consider just living with shoulder pain. Cause fuck, man.
Yeah, bro.
And that's a
I
bicep,
understand you.
and somehow that connected. I don't know if it was close to his heart or what, but
Dude, bro, that situation was. Whew.
yeah.
So yeah, that happened, and yeah, I couldn't get big energy, bro. I just couldn't get big energy. The big energy was like, coming. My big energy could come. Like even right now, I can get big energy triggered right away. Like I could turn on some music and get big energy right now and bump it.
Yeah.
Like, my big energy I can get it multiple times more than the average person. So I know something was wrong because I just couldn't get big energy. Like even if I go to Vegas right now, and I used to go like party and stuff with my friend Kyle sometimes, we came off that Mario win and we went out partying and we had a good time, in the nightlife, right? And then so that was my memory of him right before he passed away. That was my last time really being with him like every single day. So when I go to Vegas and stuff now, like I knew something was wrong because I can't even like go in the club or nothing no more because it's just like I had no energy to be there in those situations or nothing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I was just didn't have the energy. I'll just stay at the house, train, fight, eat, fight. Boring. And I'm in Vegas, bro, and I'm being extra boring. All those fights, bro, I'm being like extra stale, bro. And that's not like me. Like even if I'm gonna go out and I'm not gonna drink, I can go out and even not drink, just to make sure I use my time wisely and do things like that. But I couldn't even like do nothing, bro. Like in Vegas, I was like traumatized with Vegas.
Yeah, I feel that.
I really was. Like I was traumatized, bro, because everything I would do there, he's picking me up at the airport right away, going crazy outside the car, doing something stupid right when I pull up, bro. So like that was the homie, bro. That was like even this house that I'm in right now, like he used to stay around the corner. He used to come get me every day, like boom, 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 banging on my door. It's time to run.
Yeah.
It's time to run. It's time to run. Boom, boom, boom. We used to bang on my door all the time.
You need that.
Yep. I mean, him will run, bro, far, bro. We'll run so far, bro, all the time. And it'll be so hard. And then we're like, 2 days, we're going to do it again. Boom, boom, boom. And my boy Kyle was solid. I know they loved him at Extreme, boy, because he was crazy like that.
So, like, with Vegas and stuff,
yeah, man,
did moving back to Guam help you, do you think, at all?
No, I always stayed on Guam. I was just going back and forth a lot because the UFC was on there. I got my head coach who I started training with stays there. My best friend stays there. My other best friend, who was Kyle, who passed away, stayed there. So I had options. I can float.
Yeah.
I can float. So I was just floating back and forth. I was staying there a lot. I was here a lot. But yeah, man, when that happened, even my friend that still stays there, I feel bad for him because that was his best friend too. And like now he's in Vegas by himself, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like,
You got to make sure you go
it's
down
like,
there every
and
now and then.
so it wasn't only me. Like these guys, like I've talked to them as a whole, but we end it quick if it goes down this rabbit hole. But I would love for them to get an interview of themselves by somebody else. Don't gotta be you, but I would love to hear their stories. What I'm
Okay.
saying, like about what I'm saying. Like I want to hear my other homie's side, what it did to him, because they have to do something to him too,
Yeah.
bro.
What's
You
your
know what I
homie's
mean?
name?
Like
Maybe I'll hit him up.
his name's Drew Palomo.
Drew Palomo?
Yeah, he's a jiu-jitsu black belt and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll send you the link for him after this.
I bet. Send it
Maybe
over
you can
to
get
me.
an interview or something with him.
All right, for sure.
Yeah, I want to know what it did to him too, because he's not the type, like, he can't just talk like me. Like he could talk, he's gonna say it, he's technical, but me, I'm the one that'll just let it out, like, but I never heard his side of like what it did to him, because I know it did something to him. Like, damn, that shit fucked all us up. That's me.
Yeah.
That shit fucked all us up, That shit fucked all us up. And then I start explaining why it fucked me up right away, but they're all like,
He keeps it to
but
himself.
it fucked him up too.
Yeah.
Not that he keeps it to, like, if I want to ask him what it do to you, he'll be like, yeah, that fucking, he'll start. But I just want to hear him go through it like I'm going through it, because, like, and I want to hear it. It would just be cool for me to, like, because that shit fucked us up, bro. Like, I took a hit, bro.
Yeah.
That shit hurt, dog.
I know.
That shit hurt, bro. Like, you never think something like that's going to happen in your friend's group, but when that shit happened in my friend's group, that shit hurt, dude. I was like, wow, this is a crazy hurt,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was different, dude. I never experienced nothing like that. Like, my mom, and then, like, you lose, like, distance people that you heard that went to school or something like that, but they're not really in your circle. So maybe me losing my mom, the pain needed to be strong to get to me, but that one got to me. Like, it got through, bro. And I was like, wow. Never knew you loved someone that much, bro. Like that. And I was like, home.
Yeah.
For real. So that's when like, damn, you love these people, Trev, because damn, that shit hurt, bro, bad. So yeah, I was in the trench, bro. That's it. But I'm back now, so we're gonna get back in the right way. We're not gonna be a COVID reject. We're just gonna be, and people can say, oh, look at this record, whatever. It's okay. I'm gonna beat a couple guys more. Still never going to be a nice record no more, but, I'm going to beat good guys. Watch, I got to go back and I'm going to beat good guys, and I'm just going to forget about it, man. Fighting is short-lived. I'm going to beat a couple good guys, and I'm going to be back in my place. I'm telling you right now, like, I could beat these guys. I know I could beat these guys. I've trained with some of these guys that are doing so well. I've sparred some of the best guys, man, and I know where I belong. Like, I still belong there, without a doubt in my mind.
Yeah. Dude, I even saw you doing a little, like, shadow wrestling the other day, and those shots, and those sprawls, clean, bro. They're clean.
Yes, sir. Always working, bro. Always working. Also, when I was in the UFC, I had like a knee injury too.
I thought you
so
did.
I couldn't even shoot. Yeah, I had a knee injury too. So for like 2 fights, when I fought Barcelos and I fought Javid, I had a knee injury in those fights. So another thing, like, yeah, my knee felt like it was good, but like I said, it takes time to realize, like, when it's now. Like, I've been working with this guy, Sam, that I post on my Instagram all the time. He's really fixed my knee, and Custom Fitness on Guam. They really fixed my knee now. Like, I thought it was all I was going to get, like, this is a good knee. But now my knees are normal, like, no pain. I can go all the way down. I can squat. Like, I can do everything now. There was a point for, like, 2 years, maybe I couldn't do any of that. Like, that's why I was striking so much, bro. I was only striking people because my knee was already acting up. But I was still performing in ways that were good, where I thought I could fight too. It's just like I said, it's a lot of trial error with me, a lot of stubbornness. I already been through a lot of pain, so I just keep accepting pain like an idiot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it is, bro. It's like you've been through a lot, so your tolerance to take and do dumb things is like, and I don't mean dumb things, like I won't make a dumb mistake, or I know what not to do, but I'm saying, like, I'll challenge myself in ways you don't have to challenge yourself. When you're a fighter, like, I always catch myself, like, comparing it to like MMA, and oh, you can stay here another hour because, you know, you can go through this. But really, I don't gotta do that. Like, go home, boy. You know. But that's just how we are. We like to challenge ourselves and test ourselves. Like, you know, stay in the sauna an extra 10 minutes. You know, you're on weight already, but do an extra 10 minutes because, you know, you're tough like that. Like, stupid stuff like that, you know, make the weight right. You know, like,
Yeah. That's true though, huh?
we do stupid stuff. Yeah, we do stupid stuff like that all the time because you're a fighter. So we put ourselves through a lot of dumb stuff, man. And I'm like a lot of things. Like, there's so many times I talk to myself to do this because I'm a fighter and I think I'm supposed to just be able to hack it, you know. And
you believe in
it just
yourself too
doesn't work
much
like that.
sometimes. Yeah.
Exactly. The toughness is, you know.
It's like I think
toughness
sometimes
is,
that mindset you could break yourself before the fight, trying to make
yeah,
yourself unbreakable. You
exactly.
know, shit could be crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, I'm very tough already, but, you know, I gotta win the fight by my offense. So, you know, I've learned that I just gotta let my offense go because I'm already tough. Like, these guys are not gonna break me. Like, those fights, like the Rione fight, like, that's already enough to send someone home. Like someone would have wanted out a long time ago. So I already know, like, I won't even quit in there. Like, you really got to put me out or choke me out because if you let me, like, even though whatever was going on in that fight, if he let up at any moment, I'm still gonna put him away because that's just the way my body's tuned in to fight. But now I just know, just add more offense and I'll be fine because I'm like the toughest, bro. Like, I'm just not gonna give up unless I'm out or choked out. Like, and I'm not trying to be like that. That's just how I fight.
Yeah.
It's natural when I'm in there. Like, you know, I'm just not like pow, 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 tap, tap. No, punch me out, I guess, and then, you know, make the ref say it's over. That's the only way. You're not gonna catch me tapping out or anything like that because I don't know. You already signed up to fight, right? And I believe a lot in defense too. Like, everyone want to go off everyone's skills. Like me, I take pride in my durability. Like, they can tee off all they want, but I'm durable. You better put me away because I'm gonna finish
Yeah.
you. So that Tamir fight was no fluke to me. Like, I can do that. I did that before. I've did that before. They just didn't know at that time. And then I knocked out Mario, and then they all caught on to me like, who's this new guy that's actually pretty damn good. Then they started playing like switcheroo on opponents and nothing personal. They just, you know, people didn't want to fight me because I was, you know, deeming too scary. And then, you know, you get a next opponent and just weighed too much on me. So, you know, I think if I got a straight lineup, like I was saying, or if I fought some of those guys I was supposed to fight, I would have won a couple more fights. Then it won't look like it looked today.
Yeah.
So I just think I got a bad end of the stick. It's all good. It looked like it looked, but, you know, if they get in there with me and they look at my losses, you know, I got 5 split decision losses in different countries before those UFC fights.
Mm-hmm.
So I got 5 split decision losses. Then I got some of those close UFC fights. So, you know, they can judge whatever. They can say whatever they want. Yeah, it's a lot of losses now. I agree. I'm going crazy myself. But, man, I know my skills are good, bro. I'm telling you, I can get these guys. I'm telling you. You give me those 5 split decision losses back, I know I won these 5 fights too. They were all in different countries where they flew me in to fight the guy. So they didn't want to see me win. That's all
You're
it
fighting
was.
in
Like,
like
fights where I
Korea and
dominate.
like fucking Australia.
Korea, yeah, yep. And like, I'm fighting these guys, and they're like, I won clearly, like, not unanimous, bro, and they still find a way to make it split. You know what I mean? Like, I won unanimous.
Yeah.
Bro.
What's
I
those
fought
guys'
for the
names?
Korean title.
Fucking, I got them written down. Rodrigo Praya.
So
Young Jin.
I beat Rodrigo Praya.
Yeah.
Young Jin, I beat
Those
Young
motherfuckers.
Jin. I beat Kung Ho Kwok, bro. Don't make me. I beat all those guys, bro. There's no way those guys beat me. I beat those guys, bro. I've been telling people that I'm gonna post those fights.
Put them up.
Those guys didn't beat me. Those guys did not beat me. I'll post 5 of them. Those guys. There's a Justin Cruz fight. That's my boy now. What's up, Jess? He's my boy now, but he was 17-3 when I was 1-0 when I fought him. He was 17-3. When I was 1-0, I fought a 17-3 guy champion. I owned the fight, bro. I won 5 rounds. They robbed me. So I already know, you know, it ain't what it seemed. You know, the books ain't correct. You know, I'm at least 20-5, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I'm 20. I'm 20-5, bro. So they can look at me like they want. They know they're getting in there with a tough guy that looks like 20 and
Yeah.
5. I've trained with guys that are 20-5. We can go at it all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like the last of a dying
So
breed, though. You know, like the rampages and shit, travel the world, go fight in Japan,
yeah,
go fight in Russia. Like, you know,
yeah,
not too many guys are doing that these days.
yeah. Yeah, man, I traveled everywhere already, and that was all before the UFC, so I already got my share of experience. And man, these guys gotta understand. These guys all got nice records and stuff, right? But the resume is not like mine, bro. They didn't travel to all these countries and fight the guy. Like when they fly you in to fight someone, they are investing in that guy
Hmm.
already. That guy is
And you
good.
got wins.
Like all the guys I fought, yeah, all the guys I fought were good. Like even the ones I lost or beat, these guys are all good. Like at the time I fought them, they were all hot. I'm telling you, all the guys I fought at the time I fought all of them, they were hot. I always fought on my level. I never went and fought like a guy with no wins or something like that. Like the guy across from me was like better than me or equal. There was never like where I dropped down my level to get a win my whole
No.
career. So yeah, and I'm not on steroids. I don't cheat. I barely take supplements before I got into the UFC. I'm not a steroid user, so when you're not a steroid user and everything, you're like you get bad games, bro. You're gonna get them. Like only people that are like cheating all the time can get the perfect score all the time. How you can get the perfect score all the time? I couldn't get the perfect score all the time. Doesn't mean I'm not that good. It's just that I'm a natural athlete. I don't cheat. Some days my body's not firing off the same too. You know what I mean? So I just think it's that. I never cheated. I think some of these guys are already prep cheated. They already foul juiced up. So on fight day, it's easy to trigger because they already gauged themselves to trigger on that day. So some of these guys couldn't go with a 20-0 record and stuff like that without having a bad day. But really, it's really impossible in this sport to not have a bad day. Like that's normal, bro. If you're a normal athlete that don't cheat, it's normal, bro, to get lost to a guy that you're supposed to beat. It's
Yeah.
normal. Trust me, bro. What happened to Izzy, like kind of this last fight with Strickland? It's normal, bro. You can't fire off spicy every single time and give people what they want every single
Yeah.
time. There's gonna be one moment where you're not gonna perform correct and they're gonna dog you
Yeah.
out.
Dude, that
But what
go
happened?
ahead. Go ahead.
What
Sorry.
happened? But what happens is you get another chance to come back and show your spiciness
Yeah.
again. That's just what it is. You were gonna say
I was gonna
something.
say because you're saying you can't pass the score, and that just brought up a thought I've had. Like because Izzy and Strickland, crazy fight, and Izzy isn't invincible either. But it makes me think about fucking boxing. Like, did you watch the Charlo and Canelo? Like the skill difference between
Yes,
those
sir.
two. It's like, dude, how the fuck did
Yes, sir.
Charlo get like this perfect ass record, and then you don't even put too much of a contest to
So,
Canelo? It's like,
yeah. So what happened was that was like you same thing that someone said to me. I got it. They told me, Trev, you got in front of Cody, and Cody was in front of you, and and you guys both showed up like two good punchers in front of each other, and then they're telling me I couldn't use my ability because I had another talented guy in front of me. Even Joe Rogan was probably saying something
mm-hmm,
like that. Um, in a way they're right, in a way they're wrong. You get a good guy in front of you, there's more respect because you guys are both big punchers. So me and Cody was big punchers. So people need to understand that's the kind of chess match it was when we're in there. It's not that it was a boring fight. If anyone let their guard down, I'm pretty sure one of us would have whacked each other up. But you know, the distance and the P's and Q's and the power was a little bit dangerous for both of us. We both had a lot on the line in that fight. So I understand his smartness and they have to understand mine too. So, but a little urgency, like I said, would help. But yeah, man, you get these. He showed up, bro. It wasn't that's not his full game.
okay,
He got more than that in him. He got more than that in him, but having the star Canelo in front of you, someone that that's not gonna break to the most simplest things. You know what I mean? Like there's some guys that are good that might be 10-0 that I can fight today. But there's some guys that I can fight that's maybe 20-13,
mm-hmm,
right? That guy might be much harder because he's been through more. He's able to there's certain positions that I'm gonna put him in that he felt from someone in that 13 that's gonna allow him to have prepared to come back out of those situations. The 10-0 guy, he'll be winning as long as he's dominating all the way through. If he's 10-0 or something like that, he's probably been dominating guys clean. just getting clean wins, just running over guys, you know. But the minute that guy gets someone in front of him that's equally as skilled, that giving him that hard time back, he will have a chance to second guess himself too. You know what I mean? So Charlo had someone in front of him that made him second guess himself, you know, and make him pull your abilities back.
Yeah.
You pull your abilities back, you know. So that's all that happened. It's normal. That's what I mean. Like, fading out is kind of normal, man. People have to understand, like, this is a world with USADA now. Like, guys are not going to be perfect. Look how much guys are losing now. You ain't got those perfect records like back then, bro.
And I
like,
think
a lot
it's a
of these
good
guys
thing.
are losing now.
I
like,
prefer it. Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm like not a cheater. I'm with it. I like it. Everybody's going to drop one. Everybody's going to drop 2 or 3. They need to understand that. Like, I felt like that's why I feel like I still should be in there, because all these guys are gonna drop, you know, now. Like, what do you think, they're gonna be perfect? Well, USADA, you're not gonna get perfect fighters no more, man. It's just too hard to be perfect every night. And then they're finding a style that can actually clash your style. It's too hard. It's too hard. You can win 4 maybe in a row, 5 in a row, maybe 6 in a row is max now going into the future. Especially with the way these talented kids are now. Like, there's talent out there. So, like, if you're gonna smash 10 guys in a row in the UFC, you're psycho. You know, you're Hall of Fame. Whatever. You don't even need a belt. If you beat 10 guys, hard guys in the UFC straight, you deserve to be in the UFC Hall of Fame, because this era of talent is talent. So 10 in a row in the UFC now, you're game. You're game. And like, you don't even need to get to the top. You don't even need the belt. I'm not even saying you need the belt. Just 10 in a row in the UFC, you're good, because to be able to have the energy on 10 nights in a row and not slip up, it's impressive. It's impressive.
I think that's why with the UFC, you can do that. Like 10-0, you can get signed. 8-0, you can get signed. But in boxing, before you like fight for world titles, you got to be like 25-0, like 30-0, and stuff like that.
No, what I mean, I don't mean 10-0 going into the UFC. I mean like 10-0, 10 wins in the UFC.
That's fucking crazy.
10 wins straight in the UFC.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm saying if you can get 10 wins, like Mario right now is at 5, right? He's at 5. What I'm saying is, he only could win 1 or 2 more before they clash his style.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Unless you got unless you got favoritism, or they want to see you go all the way through and pull something off. No, they're gonna clash that style real soon. You know what I mean? That's what they were doing with me. They were clashing my style immediately. You know, so I didn't have no favoritism. You know, so it was all good. But they were clashing my style. If they want to clash your style, they'll clash your style. This last one, they kind of tried to clash his style, but his opponent was good. You know, I like that guy. He's good, but he just didn't have the experience that Mario had fighting Sandhagen, the loss to me, and then going on the streak. Mario just had more experience in the octagons and stuff than him, but it was definitely a good fight. But they are going to find someone to clash Mario's style. But then again, Mario's good too, man. He's good. He can beat guys too. Mario's going to be able to beat guys. He's active in there. You know what I mean? He's active in some of these other guys. And Mario likes to creep up on people. I be watching Mario. He likes to take the late fights too, because that person had not a lot of time to prepare for him. I see 3 or 4 Mario fights was late notice, like 3-week pickup, right? Even my own, he tried to pick that up late. So if I didn't beat him, he'll be on a 6-fight win streak. No, if I didn't beat Mario, he will be on an 8-fight win streak. If I didn't beat Mario, he'll be on an 8-fight win streak right now. He'll be on an 8-fight win streak in the UFC.
That's a sneaky strategy. Just be the top dog in the gym and then just take a week notice fight. Nobody even knows. He
loves to take he doesn't get booked early. He trains, he's prepared. Then when someone drops out on a 3-week notice, I think he thinks like, I could beat that guy. Then he hops on and takes it. He's very smart. The way he's doing it is smart. I caught on already.
You do the same shit though, right? Or what?
Yeah. No, my own was the opposite. I was the guy waiting to fight, and people were jumping on me, you know?
Yeah, your first loss, I think, right? In the UFC, that's what happened. You were waiting to fight, your guy pulled out, and then a new guy came in. Yeah.
Yes, I had 5 guys on that one. 5, bro. 5 signed guys too. And maybe like 8 guys total. But 5 signed guys where I signed in black and white. So, and then we had weight cut issues and all that. They had all these excuses. And then I go and fight a guy that still missed weight. by 4 pounds, you know, and then I ended up getting choked out to this. So, man, I'm supposed to still be there, man. That was not fair. That was like, you know, it is fair because it's a fight. I accepted it. But, like, deep down inside, like, just let it ride, UFC. Let me ride. You know what I mean? Let me ride, bro. You guys are tripping. You guys know I got it. Just let me get myself together. Like, give me someone like you. Like, give me someone like to pick on one time, bro. You guys are like, you know, let me get back into my groove. Let me fit it again. They never gave me that. So, and, you know, I don't need that. I'm not crying for that. But I'm like, you know, let me get my groove back once. Oh, then they give me this guy, tough guy again. But, you know, at the same time, I'm going to fight everyone. That's my job. Like, I'm not complaining on who I'm fighting. Like, I'll know you're hard by the way I'm training for you. But you're not going to hear me complain saying, oh, this guy's – no, I could beat these guys. Bro, every guy that beat me in the UFC, I could beat them. I'm telling you. I could put them away. Not only beat them, I could put them away, bro. So I could put them away, bro. Every guy I fought my whole life, I could put them away. All 10, I'll put them all away, bro. I'll put all 10 away.
I feel like, all right, number one, who's probably like Sean Shelby or somebody, one of those guys signed you, right? So, whoever Sean. It was, they signed you over the guys who had already beat you in the past. So it's, you know, I feel like they saw in you what you like see in yourself, you know, they saw these like split decision losses and he probably thought to himself that you won.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like you win a couple, he doesn't even look at your record. In my opinion, I don't think Sean really looks at your record. I feel like if you win a few good performances, even a couple, he might look at you as 2-0, 3-0, and hopefully take you back to the UFC. I feel like that's how you got to look at it. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm definitely I definitely built something with them where they know they can rely on me. Like, they know that Trevin shows up. They know that Trevin will fight this tough guy. So there is going to be a point where, you know, I'm going to be on this 3-5 win streak, like I'm saying, and there's going to be a tough guy waiting for me, and I'm going to be like they said when they call Trailblazer, let's call Big Mouth. They're going to be like, let's call Trevin, and they're going to call me, and then I'm going to be like,
you're really
yes,
perfect.
Sir, I'm right here. That's what it's going to be. You know, and I'm not going to be 100%. How can you be 100% for something like that? But I'm going to make sure I'm at least 75 with a better knowledge of the game and more smart on the approach, you know. Even my Tamir approach, everyone thinks that was an accident. Like, that was no accident. I wish we had the footage of when we were talking when I took that fight on 2 days' notice and the way I was going to get it done and the way I cut and the way I was dying. I already knew, like, bro, we're gonna pull the first round. Like, we're gonna like not fight back as hard. We're gonna, you know, everyone thinks like I've seen all these UFC guys. They get these late calls and they think they gotta go out there and just blast the guy right away. Like, even I hear the commentators because they're so smart, right? I hear the commentators say he took this fight on late notice. He needs to get it done fast. Why does he need to get it done fast? There's also the opposite approach where you don't do much in the beginning and, you know, ride it out, you know, use your defense, play smart. And then when his energy drops down to your energy, then you attack him. You put it on him. And that was my plan for the Tamir fight, my first fight. So that fight was like crazy to me because like we really said we're going to, you know, we already saw him. Like, I only watched him the morning of the fight day. That's the only time I watched Tamir. So I got the call. I didn't even know who he was or nothing. Then I watched him on fight morning. I'm like, whoa, I got to fight this talented Russian right now. I was like, whoa, I just made weight, everything. Now I got to fight this guy. But we saw how fast and quick he was and how much aggressive he was and the way he attacked. So we already knew, like, he just had a crazy cut yesterday, like a death cut. So we're just going to, you know, ride back, keep firing back, whatever, let him fire off everything. Then when he slows down, fight him then. And honestly, right when he slowed down, that's when I caught him and put him away. So, man, that was a good one. And if they say he got a 10-8 in the beginning, I would have got a 10-8 in the second round, and the third round would have been a good round, and the momentum would have been on my side. So that was my fight all the way through. People just got to understand. They always trying to find something. Like, he almost put you away in the first. He caught me with a nice push kick to the stomach. Yes, he did, but almost getting put away is a different story because why? You saw me sit, and then I trained with Robert Drysdale. His training partner was at Robert Drysdale a lot. So his training partner knows that there's a little ground game there where, you know, Tamir really didn't want to come inside on that particular part. He didn't want me to be able to grab a hold of him and save myself. And that's a part of the game, the thinking game, you know. Don't go in. He didn't come in. I got back up right when I saw the ref got close. I stood back up. I was fine. I got a takedown after that. I was punching him in the ribs after that. Like, the fight still goes on. How can you guys gonna say you're almost finished? Before I even finished him, I was still fighting back, you know, at the end of the round. So, you know, people are always gonna find something to say. But, you know, it's just this sport's like this sport's crazy, bro. It's not really like, there's not really a real rule set. You know what I mean? There's no real rule set. The judging is not a real rule set. Nothing is a real rule set. Everything's by eye, and everything's, you know, it's a free sport, bro. It's like free game. Yeah, it's not fair at all. Like, some guys that are up here, some guys that belong up here are down here. It's like, it's not really the sport is like, there's no real structure to the sport. Not at all. So people need to realize there's no real structure to the sport. And once I learned that, like, we keep fighting, we keep going, we keep trying to smash guys. Now I just got to beat guys with good records and guys that everybody else think is good. So as long as I beat those guys, I'm still going to be where I need to be. So that's the goal, just to beat other guys that other people think is good now. So, you know, like, I'm not trying to, even when I had a couple fights after the UFC that were just nobodies, even some good records, 8-0 guys. I had a 10-0 guy or something, but they just had no name. And I knew, like, if I beat this guy, it's not gonna do nothing for me, no matter how good they were, because they could have been really, really good, but it's just not gonna do nothing for me. So when Wilson Reis' name came up, I'm like, oh, there's a name. There's something behind here. So that's why I'm like, oh, Wilson automatically, like, we're taking this one. So
Cage Warriors too, that was perfect.
I didn't just get
out promotion for Fight Pass.
Yeah, I didn't just get out of the UFC to go pick on an easy guy and try and get easy wins, because Wilson is not easy. You don't get 28 wins and you don't get 28 wins and think a guy's easy. Getting 28 wins is so hard. How you get 28 wins, Wilson? How you get 28 wins, Wilson? You good. So, yeah, he is. He's tough, man. Real, real tough. I couldn't believe how tough that guy is. That's crazy. But, yeah, man, I didn't get an easy opponent coming out. And, you know, I don't expect an easy opponent in my next one. But, you know, I expect him to look at it like, oh, this guy's back on track. He didn't, like, go try and just get back in.
Yeah.
I never did.
Yeah,
you know?
For sure. All right, well, I got a few more questions for you, but we've gone like 30 minutes over, so I don't want to be rude. I got to ask if, like, you got somewhere to pee or anything.
I've got a little bit more time. You can go ahead and ask some questions. Yeah, I'm chilling.
So, like, earlier, I'm just curious. So your uncle went to Guam because he was, like, stationed in the Army or something, and that's why you guys went there? Marines?
Yep, my uncle's in the Marines.
How come, like, you guys moved there? Because usually someone's stationed for, like, a year or so, right? So then what was the point of you guys moving there?
Oh, so what happened? No, he was stationed here for a couple years. And what happened was he married a local from here. He had married a local from here and had kids already. So he was, like, tied in over here now. He had bought houses and stuff like that. So we're supposed to open up a restaurant, too. My grandma's a really good cook. So we're supposed to open up a New Orleans restaurant on Guam. But his insurance company that he had owned here, 2 insurance companies, had ended up getting a better contract in California or Texas or something like that. So that ended up getting shut out. So, yeah, my uncle was in the Marines. He married a Chamorro lady. And, yeah, my 2 cousins are half black, half Chamorro.
Dude, it's crazy. People don't even know what Chamorro is.
Chamorro is like the island of Guam's race. It's like a partial Spanish with some maybe Asian, and but it's, you know, it's pretty. We all the same, my guy.
No, I'm just saying because it's like so exclusive.
No, I know.
So with your uncle and stuff, was he really close to you guys? How come you guys followed him? Is he like a father figure, maybe? So that's what I'm trying to figure out.
My uncle and my grandma was good, and my uncle was pretty, you know, he was doing good for himself.
So he was maybe going to be able to take care of you guys in a way? Yeah.
Yeah, he was in that type of position where he can help out, I guess. He was reaching out, like, to help out. So, yeah, that's what he did. He helped us out, you know, made us come here and thank him for that. And, you know, so he was a help to my grandma. And, you know, it still got rough over here in the beginning when we first moved out, you know. One thing I learned, like, you can have friends, bro, like your best friends in the world. Like, you guys can stay in different places and they're always going to be excited. Like, hey, come over here. Come over here. You know, they're always going to be like, hey, come stay with me. And then you get there and you're staying there. A week's fine. 2 weeks is fine. 3 weeks might be fine, right? But it started getting months and stuff like that. Then they started going
Starts to get
crazy.
real.
You know, they started going, I need this guy out of my house. You know, it gets crazy. Your friends. I tell my friends that ahead of time because I'm aware of this. Like, it's natural too. It's nothing that you're feeling some type of way about me. It's just like your space. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and like you don't want your friends to walk on eggshells and stuff in your house. So it's just like you just gotta set the limit ahead of time. And it's not that, and they might still want you to stay, but I'm just saying, I know how it can be. Like, you know, 1 week is cool, 2 weeks cool, a month might be cool. Even 2 months might be cool, whatever might be cool, but there is a point where you're gonna be like,
Yeah. Is that what happened when you moved to Guam? I mean, were you gonna stay there for a while? Was that the plan?
No, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. We ended up getting our own house, and like I said, that happened. My uncle moved. My sisters and brothers my sisters ended up moving back with my grandma to New Orleans when I was a senior. So I ended up staying my senior year, finishing school because I was in sports. Like I said, I didn't want to switch, so I ended up staying with my friend's mom, one of my close friends' mom, and I stayed in Guam. Then right after I graduated, I got into MMA. Like, we did an adult football league after that, and like the following year, I went straight to MMA or jiu-jitsu. And then I started with jiu-jitsu.
And then 6 months after you started to fight.
And then I went pro.
No? Yeah.
Yep, 6 months after that, I started to fight. And I had 2 amateur fights. And both of them were the best amateurs on Guam. Like, they were like 6-0, 7-0 amateurs, undefeated. And they were already supposed to go pro. So first I beat one of them. Then the other one was supposed to go pro like 3 months later. And his opponent pulled out. So they gave him one more amateur fight versus me. And I ended up beating him. Then I stole his pro spot. So I ended up going pro like just 2 fights. I wish I had at least 5 or 6. So I'm fresh. I'm like 6 months in, 7, 8 months into training, 9 months into training. I already had like 2 amateur fights already, you know, and about to go pro now. My pro debut was versus the #1 contender. So I fought 4 guys from the same gym right away on my career. Imagine 4 training partners from the same gym. So the first amateur that I fought was training partners with the 3 guys. So I fought him, and then I ended up beating him. Then I ended up fighting the other good amateur. Boom. I ended up beating him. Then I ended up going pro, like I said. And when I went pro, I fought the #1 contender. And he was the #1 contender. Him and the champion couldn't fight because they were training partners. Then I ended up beating him. Then I fought the champion, who I said when I was only 1-0, I explained earlier, I fought the champion. And I won that fight too, but I got cheated. You know what I mean? So I have fought 4 training partners in a row, bro. They couldn't, but this black kid just came here and took out all the guys like that. Like, that's the way you gotta look at it. That's the truth, you know. They don't want to hear this right now either. These are my friends too. Some are my friends, but you know, we're adults now. This is long ago, you know. I'm gonna train with these guys soon.
It's a small place though, so that makes sense.
You know,
There's probably only like fucking 3 gyms out there anyway or something. I wouldn't know, but I'm just guessing.
Yeah, no, there's just something like we were rival with the other big gyms. So I was fighting against the organization gym. You know how that is, that stuff. So that was the organization's gym. That's why they had all the good guys and everything. So I really had to even when I was fighting here, they'll rob me split decision because everyone thinks I was the guy here. No, I had to earn to be the guy here. I had to fight all their guys, you know, all their guys. So when they robbed me that one, I'm like, nah, I'm coming back for the belt. So I had to fight everybody. They flew guys in all over the world to fight me too. I was never fighting locals no more after that. They were always flying someone really good in to fight me. Jermell, Leviano, Quan Ho Kwok, UFC fighter. They were flying in good guys. Happened. Yes, they were flying in good guys to beat me. That's what happened. So I'm battle tested, bro. Trust me, because I already had beat. Like I said, I had beat the 4 gym guys off the back of my career. So they're like, how the hell this kid just beat all our? So they were flying in good guys.
Is that why you left after? I mean, but you were in that promotion for like 6 years, and then you started to travel abroad to fight.
Yeah, no, the promotion they got put
Oh,
on pause for something that went on within the company. So yeah, actually, like their partner company has fights this coming weekend. They're
okay.
finally back. So something happened with them. But yeah, I was the champ of the organization. Yeah, me, Volkanovski. They had good guys, bro. Volkanovski was a 45 champ. I was the
At the
35
promotion in
champ.
Guam?
The one set.
Oh, I didn't fucking know
Yeah,
that. That's
that's where
crazy.
Volkanovski. That's where Volkanovski came from, bro. Our
Because
organization was
Guam is
tough,
close to
bro. I'm
there.
telling
Guam's
you.
close to like the fucking Philippines and Australia
Yeah,
and shit. Yeah.
yeah. That's Volkanovski was the 45 champ. My boy fought Volkanovski,
Damn,
the
I
one
gotta
that
look
passed
into
away.
that.
He gave Volkanovski. He gave Volkanovski a
He
hell of
did.
a
That's
fight, bro.
crazy.
He only
I
beat
gotta
him
look
by
that up on
decision.
YouTube or something.
Close fight, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my boy had him a couple times in the first round, in danger, big time. Volkanovski, he said Volkanovski was strong, like kept taking him down in the second and
Hmm.
third, But he said, but it was a club fight. It was a good fight.
Yeah.
So yeah, Volkanovski. We had Sebastian Kazakhstan. He was the
Okay.
70 champ. He's the ONE FC champion before. Um, you had Kaya France. All those guys were
Oh
all from my
wow.
organization. All
I
of
gotta
those
look
guys were
into
from
that. That's
all of
crazy. I
those
didn't even
guys.
realize that. So
Mark Avallado. We had
yeah, so
good
that's another
guys.
kind of question I
You
had
know.
is like during that time you were in the regional scene for a minute and you didn't even have any family in Guam other than your uncle. So like did you make enough money to support yourself and get like a place or what was your living situation like while you were fighting early on?
So so I always been like since high school. I always been selling stuff
Mm.
like shoes, everything. Like I'll buy all the Jordans. I'll sell it, whatever. But no, I was working. I was working at a restaurant at one point. I was working construction at one point,
Mm.
and I had a roommate. We had like an apartment, three of us in an apartment. And by being three of us, and we're all friends, and we all trained too. It was one point where it was three friends in one house, and we all trained
Oh.
at different gyms too. And it was crazy when we come home, and all our trainers at the same time. So we'll come home. Sometimes on weekends we'll
Yeah.
roll, we'll talk shit. We're all around the same size, so it's getting iffy. They're getting scary.
Yeah.
Who's getting good too in the house? It's different caps. So at one point it was like that, and then after that we all became training partners later on, and then we got another place, and then we all just stayed together, and it just became cheaper like that. Three of us, and we're young at the time too, like bachelor style, but just young kids trying to make their own way. So it became fair. I could survive when it was like that. Like it wasn't hard. It was not hard. So selling shoes, selling things on the side. Always trying to hustle something. Like even right now, I'm always trying to take my UFC money, buy a lot of something, and then sell it. Go travel to Korea, go travel to Thailand, go travel to anywhere. If I see anything that I can buy a lot of, I will
Yeah.
figure out how to get it here, and then get it out to the people. So that's just how I am. I've been doing that and surviving for a while. There's different, people got different ways of going by things and how to make money, and there's a lot of different
That's like the
ways
key though, honestly,
that I
right? Is
learned to
like
make
having
money.
enough money to buy enough of
Yeah,
something to like actually turn a real profit. Yeah, that's yeah.
that's all. Especially even if especially a lot of things I got ended up free because I bought enough of it to sell more of it to someone else, and then my item is at least free. So yeah, there's a lot of things like
For
that
sure.
going on with me. Whether it's like whether it's like Jordans, Yeezys before, um, off-white shirts, all kinds of stuff. Like if I can see a bulk when I know it's heat, because I got friends they're into all that, and I got friends on Ban LA they're into all that. So things will get already posted. What's on the list was the hot list coming out ahead of time. So I was getting like tips on what's gonna be popping ahead of time than other people. Like, and I'll know when it comes out. Like, get a lot of that, or even pay people to
Yeah.
line up for you.
Wait,
Like pay people to
in
line up
Guam,
for
is
you
there
too,
like
or
no
at least
taxes
in
on
or
stuff?
yeah they said there's no taxes on stuff, but they
Oh,
already added in, bro. Like the shipping, it's crazy. They added it in already. They said there's nothing, but yeah, you can get some things and it's good. It's like no tax, so whatever the price is, they say that is the price. But yeah, Guam's expensive on like food, bro. It's crazy. The shipping is like they're adding shipping for a pallet to
yeah.
each item
I was just
over
wondering to see
here.
if
So
like that you turn more of a
yeah,
profit, but not really, huh? Because it's all the same.
but yeah. So like if you can buy like if you can get things here like bro, I'll bring in car parts, anything like you see, like say like a Tacoma came out, right? A Tacoma came out, the Tacomas came out. Like Guam people love
Yeah.
trucks and stuff, right? Or anything that's like so. When they first come out and you see all the cars start popping on the road, you're like, "Whoa, Tacoma here, Tacoma there," or like Kia here, Kia there. Then you take your money and you go buy a lot of aftermarket parts for these cars, like rims, tail lights, headlights, and you buy all that. You buy a lot, you order a lot, and then you get it here. Try and get it here at a low rate where it's not breaking the bank. Or if one of your friends' companies or something got a pallet coming in, you try and get it through them or through their company where you don't even pay nothing at all. Your friends just hooking you up, being a good person, and then that's when people you post it and
Yeah.
then you
And
make
there's not
money.
too much competition
I've
there.
been doing. Yeah, not when it's like a lot of, especially if you buy nice stuff. Like a lot of companies, like even Foot Locker or anything, they order a lot of shoes. Like who's gonna buy those shoes? Like
Yeah.
who's gonna buy those shoes? Like when it's you yourself, you can really pick selective items. So I'm very selective on what's nice and what's, my choice. I believe in my picks on anything: shoes, clothes, shirts,
Yeah. Even the
jeans,
sweater's dope. I just fucking noticed it.
rims.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. So stuff like this I'll get. Then I'll just post it up, man. Resell, add a little dollar on top. It's nothing like what they're
Okay,
asking.
bet.
So it's nothing like what it'll be if it was at a store on Guam. Then it's gonna be really expensive. So I always try and meet in the middle. And then that's how
Yeah.
I win all the time, bro.
Okay.
All the
And
time.
then so I'm also curious about this. Let's do like I won't even put a time limit. You tell me when you're good to go, but I only got a few more for you. With your uncle, you guys did you live with him at first? Or like how come you didn't live with so you did. But then
Mm-hmm.
when your siblings left, what happened?
Yeah,
Why
we
didn't
did.
you still live with your uncle?
No, we all stay with my uncle. We all stay with my uncle for like a year and a half. Maybe we stayed with my uncle. It was just a packed house. He had 2 kids. He had his wife, everything. It's a nice big house too, but it was just packed. And then, of course, the goal is always to move out
Mm,
and get your own house. So that's what happened. Like a year and a half later, we ended up getting our own place. That's all that happened. And then, life goes on, man. It's kind of crazy because, like, the way life is, like, you can be around your family every day or whoever you're around every day. That is your family. That really is your family. Whoever you're around every day, that is your family because, like, you got family so far across the world and they love you, right? Like, I've had times where I'm like, man, my family don't care, right? But I get with them and then you can see how much they care about you. It's just that when you're not together, life just goes on and people gotta understand that. And like, I'm over here all the way on Guam and I feel some type of way, right? But when I meet up with them and talk to them and I hear their story, they feel some type of way. Like I'm over here
yeah.
just on the side. They feel exactly how I felt. And I'm like, oh, like we both care. We both care so much. But we're just not around each other like that. And it just, that's how life is. People just have to understand, like, just because you're not around them every day and stuff like that, don't mean they don't love you or anything like that. It's just like life just is what it is. It moves
Crazy.
like that, And even I have to realize that, like, so the people that I am around every day, like, that's kind of your family,
Yeah, true.
at the time. That is your family. Like, everyone who you're around consistently, like friends, whoever, that's your family. Like,
Yeah, because you
that
always have
is.
like these different phases. Like people who were at your freaking birthday party when you were like 15, they're not. It's like maybe one of them, two of them are there now or something shit like that. So, yeah,
Yeah, for real, for real. So, yes, one thing about me and my friends, my real group of friends, we're all still close. So, I hear it all the time. Like me and my boy Drew, my boy Matt, all of us. Like when we're all together, maybe, and there's more of us, but when we're all together, people are like tripping. Like, how you guys still together? Like back then, we used to train at dry zone. Everything, everyone's like freaking out on our camaraderie, like all the way through, never changed. Like been going there for 10 years now, and still like same energy. Like we're still sticking together. People will write us like, "Bro, you guys are still friends. That's amazing." Like a lot of people. Like a lot of people, famous people, everyone that knows, like they they know, like me and my boys that are my regular crews
yeah.
never change. Like we only lost one. That's it.
You
We
guys
just
stay
lost one.
together.
But my boys are pretty always we're always together no matter when we're far apart. Like we get on the phone, we talk in the group chat with multiple people and we act dumb still all the time, even though we're not with each other. So yeah, I've seen a lot of groups and friends fall off, man, over dumb shit, and I don't know why, bro. Like, if you could fall off that easy, you weren't really friends.
Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
feel that.
So all that, and nothing should get in the way. One thing I'm good at it, I don't put expectations on any of my friends. Like, it's kind of weird, but I'm not gonna just because my other friend does something for me, I'm not gonna put that expectation on you and then have myself second guessing you because you can't do that for me. Like, I know each of my friends and I know what they're my friend for. So I keep them in that line, and it's fine. It's good. They're all equally my friend, but I know exactly what I'm getting out of each friend or giving to each friend. Or what, I know I'm in tune with what's going on. I'm not like trying to say, oh, Justin did this for me and you can't even do this
Yeah,
for
because
me.
then it
Like,
takes away what you do for them. It
no,
makes it
I'm not
not
gonna
genuine
put
because you like hope.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna put yeah. I'm not just gonna put that expectation on you. Like, I know what I get out of each friend's. Like, I got friends that are still like bums still, like, when I got other friends, it's like, how you come you still hanging around with that guy or you still mess with that guy? It's like, bro, everyone's my friend for a different reason. Like, I'm not putting expectations on him. I'm not putting
yeah.
expectations on
He
you.
is who he
Like,
is.
I'm just cool like that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Yeah, he is who he is. You know what I mean? He's still funny. He still makes me laugh. He's still dumb. He's still cool. He's just not doing
yeah,
good in life, but he's still a cool guy. He's still my friend from when he's my friend. You know what I mean? He's just not, doing good in life. So, but sometimes they're
yeah.
still
That's
cool. You
facts,
know
though. I
what I
think a
mean?
lot of people could get a good lesson out of that. Couple more questions for you. Or second to last one is how much money did you get paid when you were at the Pacific Extreme Championship or something like that? Did they pay you decent money or how was the money
Yeah,
like? I'm
yeah.
just always curious about the regional scene.
So I used to talk to other people around it because I used to fight with PXC so much about the about my payment, bro. I used to fight because I used to think other fighters were getting more than me, and I was doing the most work. Like, it was clear that I thought I was doing the most work. They were flying harder guys in to fight me. They're trying to get me beat. The most I've got paid from them
Okay,
is five and
5 grand,
five.
5 grand.
That's pretty. Yeah, 5 and 5, and they paid for me to fly out
Okay,
and train and get better. So that's when I already getting good with them. Yeah, they used to pay me when I used to hear other people's pay. It was like 1,000, 15. I used to get paid pretty good. I had 4 and 4 at a time. I had straight 6 grand. I've had different payments from them. I was like I said, I was, I was fighting hard guys. They were flying guys in to beat me. I was doing a lot of work. I've had 3 and 3. I've had all the payments, bro. I had the two and
yeah.
two.
Looks like you
I
worked
had
your
all
way
the
up in
payments,
that
man, for real.
organization. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I guess that was the hometown organization, but they were pretty international. Like I said, they were flying in good guys from everywhere. Hawaii, Thailand, Australia, New Zealand, Philippines. All these guys that were flying in. So they had all tough guys. Like, I see some of these other organizations, and I'm like, the PXC will smoke these
yeah.
guys. Like, they were good. They were good, dude. I'm like, oh, the PXC
That's
was
tight.
actually
Yeah,
damn good. Especially you hear some, especially when you heard, like, you were giving them a hard time when you're younger, but now you're like,
yeah.
where they
You're
at
like we were the
now?
shit.
Nah. You're like, yeah. So, but yeah, I had my wars with the PXC too, but I love those guys. They put me through the hard path. That's why I'm prepared for a lot of this stuff now. So my record looks like it looks because I just been fighting hard guys from the start, bro. Like, 17-2. I'm only 1-0. Um, Man, they were flying in. I was fighting
Yeah,
hard guys, bro. I was like 4-2 or something like that. They flew in Alvin Kakdak, who gave me my first choke out, and that's a fight too. Like, when I got my first choke out, I was dominating that fight. It's just that I came from the states, and I had a war with the organization. They're like, you're not gonna fight for us again.
mm.
You get into those wars with them, and I partied, bro. I partied. Concerts, everything, bro. I partied. And when I got back home, they're like, we gotta fight for you. And of course, I want to make money. I need money, and I just want all my money. So yeah, let's fight. So I fought Elvin Kakdak, and man, I was dominating the first round. I dominated him, full mounted him, everything in the first round. Then the second round, he ended up catching me with this choke when I was pressing him against the cage because I was putting too much pressure. So even that fight earlier on, I was in that fight. I was winning. I dominated the first round, dominated, and I got choked on the second. And then the Saeed, when he choked me out, I had 3 weight cuts in the same month, in a month time. Then I had 5 to 6 opponents, and then he got me at the last 20 seconds of the third round. So I still know I'm tough. You know what I mean? I'm still positive about myself. Other than those 2 finishes, I never fought no one that made me think I need to restart and do something else. You know what I mean? Some of these guys go out there to
Yeah.
get smashed, and then I understand they second guess themselves, but nobody never beat me or outclassed me that bad where I think I need to rethink my career and do something else. Like, what am I gonna be better than at this point than what I already do? Why am I gonna restart from scratch? Give it another shot. That's what we're gonna do. So that's how I
Yeah.
feel about it. Just move forward and give it another shot. You didn't get outclassed that much. You might have lost, but figure out how to clean it up and then see if we can move forward. That's all it is.
Yeah. Was it a one-time thing, that partying that you did, or early in the days did you like to party after fights and shit?
Dude, it was crazy because everyone back then used to be like, you need to get a girlfriend, you need to get a girlfriend. Everyone used to say that, stop hanging with the boys, stop partying, you need to get a girlfriend. Everyone used to say that back then, right? But when I was doing that, I was winning, bro. I couldn't be beat, bro. Like, you got to be who you are. You cannot be who people
Yeah.
want you to be. I explained this on one of my other things. You cannot be who you want you to be, bro. I listen to the people, get a girlfriend, all this, switch it up. Like, yeah, it's okay, but that's not for everybody, bro. Just because it works for you don't mean it worked for me. Like John Jones and Izzy and all these people, they need to understand the life that matches fighting is that life. Is that life.
Yeah.
Like, we're fighters, bro. Like Connor said, I'm not no role model. I understand, Connor. You know what I mean?
Right.
Fighters have came from, a dark place, and we beat each other up, and we're not all glamorous. You know what I mean? We're cool as hell. All fighters are cool. A lot of them are so cool, but our backgrounds aren't glamorous either. So I'm not saying I'm a bad person. I'm an amazing person, but at the same time, we've been through dark. We've been through down times. So a lot of people want fighters just to be perfect. Nah, bro, we fight for a living, dude. We're like, this is a dark, shiesty sport. This is a very shiesty sport. It's not fair at all. So just gotta believe in yourself and know the sport is not fair. It's a little shiesty, and you gotta play your cards right. And a lot of that's what these guys are doing. You only have to play your cards right in this sport now because a lot of guys are playing their cards too safely. You know what I mean? So it makes all of us gotta play our cards too safely because what's happening in the UFC is the tough guy runs into the tough guy and then they pull out. So what that means is a sucky guy will have to fight the tough guy, and then after that, that other guy is gonna get a guy that he wants to match up with. That's what they do. They're playing their cards right too much, so it's messing up the game. If everybody just clash with each other as they called it, then we'll have a real ranking.
Like back in the day.
We'll have a real ranking. We'll have a real sport on our hands. Like, just
Yeah.
because a guy's 5-0 in the UFC don't mean he's better than me. Like, Mario's 5-win streak, he's not better than me. I'm telling you, he's not. He's not. I could beat him again. I'm telling you, I could beat Mario again. I know this already. I watch how he fights. That style is like the guys that have to beat me, they have to do like the footwork or take me down and hold me down completely, or do the footwork and play very smart against me. Javid, I thought I won a Javid fight for sure. I thought I won that fight, though. I don't think I lost that fight. I don't care what anybody says. I did not lose the Javid fight. But yeah, they gotta play. He was good though, but they gotta play. They're a little bit more intelligent, But Mario, he's like a dog like me. Like, he wants to go at it, and I can win fights when guys try and go at it with me. Like Wilson try and get close to me, try and manhandle me. My defense is good enough to hold up and protect myself too, so I can fight those fights all day. You try and clash with me, like, you really have to like stay away from me. You really have to like try and watch out for me because there is danger. So I understand Cody's approach. He was right. If he clashed with me, I would have put him away. And on the other hand, it took me time to just realize, like, he's normal too, man. Because like I said, I was in there with the former champion of the world. I'm leveled up now, though, from that. Like, I know that what the former champion had, he was a little afraid of me. He had to play not safe, but super safe versus me. That boosts my confidence too, whether I got an L or not. You know what I mean? Like, I know if I meet him again, I got him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not even like trying to talk smack about him or nothing. It's just like I know. It's just like as a fighter versus fighter, bro. I know I can get him. Like he got me that day. He got the decision, but I'm much more tougher than him.
Hopefully you'll get your chance soon, bro.
Hmm.
Maybe, within the next year. I think it'll probably
Yeah.
happen for you.
Like I said,
Um,
I'm gonna come back versus a tough guy. It's gonna be a tough task, but I'm already preparing my mind now for that because
right,
they're not
which
gonna
is
call
good.
me. They're not gonna call me back for someone that's easy because if it's someone easy, it's so easy to get him an opponent. You know what I mean? It's gonna be
Yeah.
someone that no one wants to fight. Then they're gonna say, let's call
Yep.
Trevin. That's what it's gonna be. So I'm prepared for
It'll
that.
be music to your ears.
Hmm.
Last one for you, brother. Jon Tuck. First of all, is he like he's the first UFC Guam fighter, right? Or UFC fighter from Guam, maybe?
I
Or is
believe
there a
so.
guy before
Yeah, I
him?
went to his first fight too in Philippines. I
Yeah.
went there.
Is he? I watched that shit, dude. Is he a legend out there in Guam, or like did he used to get a lot of recognition?
Yeah,
Because he's
Tuck,
like the
man.
first UFC fighter.
Yeah, Tuck's. I was not around him that much when he was in the UFC. I was though, because I started training with Tuck too. But as of like right now, yeah, everyone knows Tuck, man. Everyone knows me.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Tuck. Tuck's popular. He's been popular. He's been popular since his jiu-jitsu career on Guam. He was actually really, really good in jiu-jitsu back
He's
then.
world champion.
Yeah, so Tuck is known here, man. Tuck is like well known here. Like everyone knows who Jon Tuck is 100% around here. So
Bet.
yeah, Tuck is good too, man. He's talented, man. I think Tuck had some issues like me too. Like we're kind of big for the weight class, man. So Tuck has that same problem I have where sometimes we like if I cut weight right, I know that's the Trevin I'm looking for when the weight cut is right. But I also know when I get the Trevin that you guys saw, like the late weight cut and the Trevin that has to pick every move smartly because his body was compromised from the big weight cut. So Tuck had that problem too. Like Tuck is big, and I think sometimes you cut too much weight, and when you cut too much weight, you don't want to use energy that's gonna be a waste. You don't want to
Yeah.
expand on. You don't want to expand unnecessary energy. So I think that's a problem too. Like getting your body to expand unnecessary energy to get what you want. I think sometimes we're a little stiff and a little trying to land the big shot or the perfect shot sometimes because our body was depleted the day before and it's just not feeling normal.
Yeah.
So
How
yeah,
did you
but
guys start to
Tux.
train with each other?
I did my first tournament. So I was training for maybe like 4 5 months, and I went with Tuck to Japan and we competed in the IBJJF tournament. I was a white
Mm,
belt. I competed in a tournament as a white belt, and I won third place. I won like 5 fights or something. Then when I got back to Guam, I got my blue belt right away. So I ended up, Tuck was from Guam going. Like I said, he was good in jiu-jitsu already. He was bringing guys with him. So I ended up
yeah.
calling him like, hey, man, can I come with you guys? I want to try competing. So me and two of my friends all went with Jon Tuck. We stayed at a hostel and everything, like, as a group for like a week or something. It was so fun, bro. It was fucking
That's
fun.
dope.
Ran the streets of Japan, acting dumb, everything, bro. It was wild,
Do you
bro.
just have enough money for a ticket to fly out to Japan and back or something like that?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was only going trying to go because I had already saved up for it. I was supposed to go with other people, but they ended up canceling, and I already still had my ticket and stuff. So I ended up asking Jon Tuck to go with him, and I already had trained with Jon Tuck when I first started, and I knew who Jon Tuck was too. And then we were already friends already. So I'm like reached out, but we became boys now, after that, and then
After that,
like
probably after a week in a
yeah, and then
hostel.
now
Yeah.
and then my wins before the UFC career, Jon Tuck was like cornering me and everything. He cornered me in like my 2 fights before the UFC. He cornered me, and then I go to his house every blue moon. He likes to know the problem with Jon Tuck right now. He likes to work on at the house too much. Me, I feel like I'm a pro. I need like a facility. I want to work in a full facility. I want to work over here. Then I want to work over here in that part of the facility, and I want to do multiple things. Tuck likes to come to the house, and he likes to, be competitive, and then we end up going at it all the time. I'm like, oh, we're fighting against Tuck.
It's
So, but
like
he's
we
a
need
good
some other
guy.
guys to beat up.
But he's a good guy. He always, he taught me a lot. He helps me a lot with my game. He never held back on any knowledge. He really shares all the things he learned when he was in the States. He really was trying to like guide me on my part of my UFC career too, man. It was just like I was in my own world too. Like I said, we were doing good, man. Everything was going good. I had got those first two. I had came off wins before the UFC, and we were doing good. It's just that I think it was just a little boom thing that happened, man. So it kind of like, yeah, it kind of like just blurred me out, man. I really think it was that because, like I said, now I'm thinking like hunger, like I can feel it, bro. It's crazy. I wasn't feeling this. I wasn't
Yeah.
feeling like I wasn't excited, bro. Like I'm fighting Cody, no love, Trev. You would have been, woo! Back in the day, you would have been, woo! I didn't have it in me, bro. Like if I fought that guy now, I know I'll be screaming coming out, probably cry, bro.
Yeah.
I'll cry and scream like, woo, because I already know it's time. I
Yeah.
couldn't I couldn't I couldn't get it out of me, bro. I couldn't. So yeah, man, you can't get that out. You can't fight. You can't get it out. You can't fight. You can't, So I knew the
It's just the
difference. Like when I
reset.
was,
You needed a reset,
yeah,
probably.
yeah. It's a reset. It's a reset. Plus, I lost those fights, so I definitely had areas I needed to get better in. So it also made a reset. Me knowing I can win these fights, but also I can get better. So it's like the full package. It's good. I can beat these guys. I know it, but I lost. So, I have to accept the loss, but I still have to keep enough confidence where I know I can beat them so I can rise up. I can't just lay down and hey, these guys can beat me. You're going to hear the crybaby out of me because that's my competitive side. But at the same time, I'm not stupid enough to know that I didn't do perfect and these guys didn't, do what they needed to do and edge it out or
Yeah.
whatever. But at the same time, I know I can, bro, on a good night, if I perform on a good night, everyone's going to just be shocked all the time. That Mario performance could come all the time. But like I said, I'm not a steroid user, cheater. So I accept bad performances. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Yeah. Well, hey, shout out to Jon Tuck, man, because fucking he's a legend. He's the one who got me into the UFC. And dude, look, I got fucking
Yes, sir.
yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
I love Guam for that right
Oh,
there.
yeah, bro.
But I was gonna say something. Um, oh yeah, all the local boys out there and shit. Like I'm assuming they like fighting because you're on an island.
Uh-huh.
But do all the local boys kind of fuck with you and stuff like that? Like if they see you at the gym or something. I don't know if you go to like a public gym, but I figure if you walk by a couple local boys, they're gonna be like, "Oh shit, that's Trevin."
Yeah, so yeah, I'm popular here, bro. I'm super
Yeah, I
popular here.
figure.
Everybody knows me here everywhere I go. My favorite people to talk to is actually like I do talk to a lot of young people. They're like, "Hey, when's the gym? You still train?" That same small talk that's been going on for years. But my favorite people to talk to is the old people, bro. Like people's parents, people's grandparents. They know me too. So
Oh,
because the
they do.
paper and yeah, because the paper and everything. So they'll see me. They're like, "You're that fighter boy," and then I talk to a lot of old people in lines and stuff like that. They're like my favorite people to talk to because they're like, they're in a neutral standpoint. They're just like, "Hey, boy, thank you for representing Guam. You're doing us. We're proud of you. Just know that." And all I get that a lot, and those are my favorite kind of like uplifting conversations to have with the older people because these are like people's parents, and you always want to make people's parents and your parents proud. So that's like my favorite more than talking to like the young guys. The young guys all do know me, but a lot of them want to like small talk, like, "Hey, the gym's still open, or the gym's still in the same spot. Yeah, I'm gonna come,
Yeah.
Trev. Yeah." Some of them show up. But our training is hard, man. That's the thing. Like a lot of our guys are good. It's not a lot of us, but the ones that are there are really, really good. So sometimes when we want to go, we end up going. So it's hard for like a new guy to kind of last because we're not really offering that type of training right now,
Yeah.
especially like, we're not really offering that like get good kind of training. We're offering that like be good or get beat up until you get good kind of training right now. So
Yeah, for sure, bro. We're gonna get out of here right now, but I was just curious. You said something about the paper. Are you saying are pay-per-views free out there in Guam or something, or what do you mean the paper with the
what do you mean
older
paper?
people? You said
Oh,
like
the
when
newspaper. The
oh the
newspaper, my bad.
newspaper.
Yeah, the newspaper, my guy. The
Yeah, so
newspaper.
they
So
read the
yeah,
newspaper
yeah, they see the newspaper. Yeah, all the old people are in the newspapers, right? So yeah, they see the
and they always
newspaper and
got to
then
put you in that, right?
yeah, they put me in a
Anytime.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've been in the newspaper a lot. Like even high school
Yeah.
sports, I was in the paper a lot. So yeah, I've been hitting the paper a lot, the sports section, anything, For sure, I was in all the papers when I just fought Wilson. For sure, I was in all the papers when I fought Cody. Those are all, yeah. Even like
Yeah,
all my
that's
UFC
tight.
careers, all in the papers. So yeah, they know me over here. It's like, yeah, it's more like like when everybody loves you, the hate comes. You know what I mean?
It
When nobody
happens.
loves you, when nobody loves you, everybody loves you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When because everybody wants to be that person that's the closest, but once you start like everyone's cool with you and everyone, and that's the only time the haters can come out and try and like try and mix up the emotions like they don't love
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
because so everyone here loves me, yeah. You
I
got
feel
the
like what you're
haters
trying to
that
say, I feel like what you're trying to say
yeah, go
is
ahead.
like when fucking like they'll support you, right? When they don't necessarily believe in you almost. But once they see you
Yeah,
achieving that success, then they have certain things to hang on to where they can kind of like
yes.
nitpick
So
you.
that's
But
another
before that, they don't
that's
believe
a
in you. They're like, "Yeah, go for it, bro."
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's another direction. Yeah, that's kind of the same thing, but it's even like, yeah, like say you got 10 guys and they all love you and they're always talking about you. The 11th person don't want to talk about you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because 10 people like you saw that movie series already, so your friend don't want to watch that movie series because you're already ahead. Your friend don't want
Hmm.
to come to jiu-jitsu practice because you're already a purple belt and he's gonna be a white and he got to start from scratch and he thinks he's as manly as you. But when you get on the
Yeah.
mats, it's gonna get wrecked up. So you don't
Yeah.
want to start. You know what I mean?
Then it starts a
You
little
don't want to
envy in their
start.
head. But yeah, that's what it is
Exactly, that's
sometimes.
all it is. So the world, like the world, gotta know a lot of these things are normal. Once you
Yeah.
start catching on to a lot of this stuff being just normal patterns, then you're okay with the world. Like those kind of things don't bother you no more. Like that, those kind of like I said, getting let go and not getting a new contract for the UFC was the worst thing that can happen. Not the worst thing, the best thing, but if you want to look at it, it could be the worst thing. But I look at it like nobody wants that to happen, right? Everyone's scared of that to happen. Once they get in, they don't never want that to happen. So that's automatically the worst thing, you know what I mean? But it's
Yeah.
not really, man. It's like your own head needs to be the one to deal with that. What can your head do with that? Like some people's head can't do nothing with that. So yeah, it could be the worst thing for some people, but if your head can deal with that and flip it into positive, then it's definitely not the worst thing, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. So that's
a
what you're
lot of
about
these
to
things
do.
that yeah, a lot of these things that go on in life are normal, but people look at it like it's only them. Like they're the only ones experiencing this type of situation. So they want pity for themselves or whatever. But nah, everyone's going through it. Everyone has problems. There's problems out there more worse than you. There's people out there more rich than you. Keep
Facts.
moving forward. Keep moving forward. You know
Facts.
what I mean? You're
Yeah.
you're your own self. Like we got this whole world with all these rules. You'll never be hiding the rules. You'll never be hiding the MMA rules. You'll never be hiding the commission. You'll never be hiding the real world rules. Like the rules is always going to be made to keep the people in line, right? Or whatever in line. So we're the weaker. But you have to learn how to play your game and live your life within the rules. And you know, and it could be. And I'm not saying you have to follow all the rules. You just have to live what makes you happy. And that's what I mean. Like when I was going I was smashing guys, and everyone's like, "You need to grow and all this," and like the sport is really made for you to be who you are, need to be. You need to be fully happy to do this sport. You need to be happy again to do this sport. If you're not happy, you can't do this sport. I'm happy at every fight. I always bought myself something nice. Some people will be like, Trev's always showing off. Oh, he got this and got that. Bro, if you weren't buying yourself something nice every time you fought and you went out and you lost like I lost, or things like, or you took an L, or even if someone got knocked out and they don't have nothing nice to show for that at home, they're not going to want to do the sport for long.
Mm-hmm.
You're not. So if you're gonna do this sport, you have to, even when you win or you lose, you always have to make sure I got a rule. I buy myself something before and after each fight, and show me my motivation, show me why I'm doing this. Because if you just go out there and you're not taking care of yourself and you're doing this tough sport, you're gonna emotionally break down. Guaranteed you are. You're not
Yeah.
gonna like doing this sport. So I
It's
always
a
make
hard
sure I buy
life.
myself something nice. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's hard on the body. You miss a lot of beautiful nights and you have to sacrifice a lot of beautiful days, but when it's time for your days to be beautiful, you gotta make it beautiful. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these guys are just like not taking care of themselves, not by themselves, nothing nice, being like cheap fighters and always acting like the fighters are all broke and stuff like that. Yeah, we are broke, but you ain't gotta act like it. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta act like it. You know, act
You
act,
gotta
act
fake it
like
till you
you
make
want
it
to
a
go
little
where
bit.
Connor's at. Yeah, act like you want to go where Connor's at, and then get to where Connor's at because it all starts with the way you act. We're not trying to save pennies, you know. We're trying to come up. So you know,
Exactly.
you gotta act like you need to come up. You need to act like you gotta have ways where you want to come up. You know what I mean? Can't be acting like bums. Some of these fighters make good money and stuff already in the UFC. Some of these guys are acting like bums, bro. Still, like, bro, stop trying to sell that persona, bro. You're not the richest person in the world, but you're making enough to be decent at this point. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
act right, bro.
for sure. All right, bro. Well, fucking, I see you there denying somebody's phone call like 1,000 times. Who the fuck's calling you?
My homeboy wants to come by, so he was calling. He doesn't know I'm on a call.
All right, for sure. Well, I'll let you go. I just want to tell you though, if I'm ever out in Guam, I'm actually planning on going to the Philippines like next
Yes.
year, maybe in the beginning of the year.
Uh huh.
I might stop by Guam just because I've never been. But if so, you know I got to come by and meet you in person, bro. And
Let's
if
do
you
it,
ever
bro.
okay, and if you're ever in Cali, that's where I live. So I'll hit you up
Which
too if
part of
you're ever in
Cali?
Cali.
Which
I'm
part of
in
Cali?
like LA.
LA. Okay. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I'm always in LA.
bet.
I just came from LA right now. But yeah, even if you go Philippines, man, who you go Philippines with your family?
Yeah, I got a girlfriend, so I'm gonna
Oh, your
go.
girlfriend's in
She wants
Philippines.
to introduce me to her family. Yeah, she's from the
Oh, your
Philippines.
girlfriend's. Oh, your girlfriend's from the Philippines. Yeah, man, Philippines is nice. It's one of my favorite places to fight, and yeah, man, you'll love the Philippines. You'll love the treatment. You'll
For
love
sure.
the hospitality. So, you ever been to the Philippines or you haven't been yet?
Nah, never been.
Oh, you're gonna enjoy that, dude. You know what I mean? You're
Okay.
about to enjoy, get massages and take care of yourself over there, recover. So
Yeah,
yeah,
nice and
take that
cheap
trip with
too.
your yeah, take that trip with your girlfriend.
Bet, bro. And that's why I was saying, because she wants to introduce me to her family, and then she knows my
Hmm.
family's from Guam, so she's like, "Well,
Yeah,
fuck, it's close. You might as well if you want
yeah,
to."
might
That's
as
why I'm
well.
considering it.
Double,
Yeah,
yeah, you should. It shouldn't be much from Philippines to Guam. It should be real cheap. Should be able to get that ticket for maybe like two some coming from that way, and not going the opposite way. For us, it'll be a little bit more to go Philippines from Guam, but I think Philippines to Guam is cheaper. So yeah,
okay.
man, you definitely should make it happen. Make kill two birds with one stone. Why not, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then I'll meet you too.
Yeah,
That's
yes,
three
sir.
birds.
Yes, sir. Yeah, let's do it for sure, though. For
Hell
sure.
yeah, bro. All right, man. Nice to meet you, and thanks for your time, brother. Call
All
your
right, my
homie
guy.
now.
Appreciate you, my guy.
All right, later, bro.
All right,
Peace.
later. See you, my guy.